All right, all right. What's good, everybody? Welcome to the CrossWorlds Cup presented by Sonic CrossWorlds. I am EE, joined by my man Emerald, and we are excited to be getting into some what I know is going to be some incredibly exciting and dope action here on the race courses. Emerald, how you feeling? I'm glad we got the dynamic duo back together.
Dude, I'm feeling good. I'm super excited to watch some more Sonic Racing Crossworlds. I love this game. I've been playing it so much in my own free time. I love it. It's my favorite kart racer, I gotta say. And I'm super excited to see that the talent that we have today participating in the Crossworlds Cup.
Yeah, no doubt about it. I think what they did really well here was like assembling a group of talent that were familiar that they have some Crossroads experience, and there's maybe some kind of like newcomers at that. But at the end of the day, they can all agree that the prize is one thing, baby. You got to go for the big money. I'm not mad about that at all. So really, when it comes to it, I think if there's somebody who's like more of a novice, as you kind of realize like you got to accumulate some points, maybe that skill will just start to kind of build up naturally. You know what I mean? Like you tell me that we're playing for some money, I'm down to go crazy. You know what I'm saying? I just feel like
Oh,
something's naturally
absolutely.
gonna, click gears. Man, does that work for you?
Yeah, absolutely. I think that like the more that you play this game, the more comfortable you get.
Yep.
We have plenty of races for our racers to not only get comfortable, but to develop a little bit more of a strategy. Maybe, they're getting hit by some more items. Maybe they play a bit more defensively. Maybe they want to switch up the machines that they're going to be using. There's all sorts of different like power machines, speed machines, like anything to fit your play style. So I'm sure we're going to see a little bit of shifting as the races go on, or who knows, maybe comfort is key, and then we're just going to be sticking with a similar build all the way through.
That could be the case. Well, take a look at what they're actually going to be competing for. I'm talking about, of course, the prizing. We got some big money on the line for this one, $20,000 in total. If you are third place right there, you're going to be taking home 2Gs. Second place, that's going to be $5,000. And then first, of course, the lion's share of that emerald going to be $13,000 going to our top racer after 16 courses are done. But how do they get those points? How do you accumulate the dollars? Well, you got to get some points right there. So first place, as you can see, can get you 15 points. Second place, you're going to take it down a little bit to 12. Third place, 10 points, and so on and so forth. Now, I was saying if you get 12 throughout 16 races, you don't have to feel that bad because that's still 16 points, or maybe even a little bit more, because in the last four races of the competition, we are doubling those points to make it that much more exciting. So even if you're at the bottom of the standings, who knows? If you were able to string together maybe a couple of fourth through fifths, you could really do something in those double points courses.
Yeah, and I love that too, EE, because that actually ties back into like how the game does it with the in-game Grand Prix for that final course run through. You get double points at the end, so I love that they're tying it back to that. But obviously, you don't want to count yourself out. That's where that comfortability is going to come into play. The more comfy you get with the different racing mechanics and items and stuff like that, you could easily bring it back, even if you had a rough start at the beginning.
You already know, like they say, man, it's not how you start, it's how you finish. So I'm assuming these guys are definitely going to just get better and better as we progress through. But speaking of our competitors, how about we take a look at some of them right now? Now, right off here, you see 16 very, what I believe is going to be talented racers. Some of them might surprise you, like right off the riff. Some people who kind of draw my eye is Sear. I see Will Neff, obviously Agent right there. But I gotta tell you, I don't know who you're going for, who might be a standout for you, Emerald. For
Mhm.
me, I hate to say it, I reluctantly, begrudgingly say it, but Mr. Beats Games himself, Coney, that guy's got to be a favorite for this.
Oh yeah, I know Coney's got a lot of experience in competition, all sorts in all sorts of different games. But for me, the person that I think I'm looking out for the most is probably Chibidoki.
Ooh.
Chibidoki was in the last Crossworld tournament, and she had done a phenomenal job racing
Yes.
really well, getting really comfortable. You could really see that she was understanding the game more and more as she played, and I think she's got that difference in experience that might put her above the rest of the racers here.
All right, you know what? That's a very good point because the last time we actually shared a mic together, it was in fact with that event. Chibidoki was doing a fantastic job. So I think that's a really good really when you kind of look at it, there's really no wrong direction you can go here. But as I said, when it comes to Crossroads, we have some new and familiar faces to kind of draw some comparisons to and see how that's going to go. Now, I don't know about you, Emerald. I just got to ask you real quick because I know you are a gamer of the highest order when it comes to this title. Have you secured Legend?
I did. I got
Okay.
legend, and then you know, they had their legend competition where you
Yep.
could then compete for like a more like competitive, I guess, like ranked mode.
Yep.
And I got the top rank in that as well. I was not like in the top like 100 on the leaderboards or whatever, but I got the maximum rank that you could get, which is emerald ranking. Um, and it was it was really tough. I can't lie. I had to learn a lot about the game, but I definitely know my stuff when it comes to like the nitty gritty of like the
Yep.
intricacies of the game. So I'm really excited to yap about that. Just like the way that like maybe people could change up their play styles. I don't know if they're going to be listening to the stream, but they might
Well,
hear some tips from me. I don't
the
know.
first thing I would recommend if you're competing in this competition, make sure, I don't care if it's on a second monitor, I don't care if it's on a headset, I don't care if it's on your phone, have them comms up because Emerald drops knowledge. Right? He drops emeralds, actually, is really what we should say. This guy is just a beacon of knowledge that you should absolutely take advantage of. The thing about it is, though, you know, when I play a game, you know, I have to admit, I'm a little stubborn. I'm a bit of a stubborn gamer, I must confess. If something I'm doing isn't going right, I'm gonna just keep doing it till it feels right. You know, that's just how I operate, right?
You're
But
just going to make it work.
exactly. Sometimes you just want to, you know, you just want to die on your own sword, if you will. So I can understand how some of those competitors might feel that way, but they're gonna have to feel out these maps that we have coming up. Let's take a look at the first four that they're actually going to be competing in. Got Crystal Mine, Sand Road, Nautilus, and Market Street. Now, let me ask you a question, okay? Out of these four courses, these four maps, which is your favorite? Which one are you dying to see the competition start off with?
You know, it's really difficult for me because I really enjoy Sand Road, but we have Crystal Mine in this group of tracks that we're going to be seeing for this first section, and Crystal Mine has got to be one of my favorites. I actually think it's kind of a sleeper pick amongst like other racing CrossWorlds players. It has some really neat shortcuts, especially the one that's like at the very end of the lap where you can kind of drive off-road with a boost and get onto the back of like a tractor truck and skip a big load of time. It's actually in frame here. That's the gap you would be skipping with that truck. It looks, it's a difficult track to get a hold of, but it's definitely one of my favorites to race on for sure. And I can't wait to see how the other racers kind of adapt to it.
I would say if you are feeling rather astute at this course, then yes, I recommend taking that. Me, myself, I think I've probably attempted that maybe 15 times. I think I stuck the landing once, okay? So it is possible, okay? That's coming from your friend EE. It is possible. Now, when I look at these particular courses, I'm going to say Market Street is probably the one that jumps out to me the most. One, I just like markets. And two, the fact that you can kind of jump off the rooftops to get the different sections, different paths, I think that's a really cool little feature as well. So obviously, everybody's going to have their own. But one thing we can definitely agree on, Emerald, is the aesthetics of all these stages are absolutely gorgeous.
Oh yeah, they are absolutely gorgeous. This Market Street 2, one of your favorite also has one of my favorite tracks as far as like OST goes. Like the music on there is a phenomenal.
There it is. All right. Well, how about some phenomenal rivalry as the competition progresses? Okay, KDB and Will Neff. These are going to be the first two competitors who we're kind of building in some storylines for this cup, right? You really want to get that hype going. We got 16 races to get through. We're gonna have those stakes in there just besides the cash. So how about this head-to-head? Will Neff or KDB? Who do you think is going to go the distance? Who makes the biggest statement in course number one, Emerald, for your money?
Well, because of the fact that we haven't seen these racers yet, I got to go with the character picks here. Now, each of the racers got to pick their own characters that they wanted to race as. So I got to go with Sonic. KDB picking Sonic, main character. I feel like maybe she's got a little bit of pride in her. You know, she might be pretty confident coming into these races. And, I also Sonic just being a speed character is just a really good type for this game. So that's who I'm going to be looking out for.
I would say there's something to be said about a little main character syndrome, okay? It seems like KDB picking the right character to maybe just get the advantage in this rivalry. We'll see. I haven't seen Will Neff play CrossWorlds, so I'm actually really excited to see if he just like out of nowhere is just like a gaming guru on the sticks when it comes to CrossWorlds. So we'll see how that pans out. And keep in mind, guys, we will, of course, be keeping track of multiple rivalries as we go through the competition today to get to our ultimate grand prize winner. After, again, 16 courses, the last four being worth double the points. I cannot say it enough. No matter your standing, do not give up. Just keep jamming it. Because, I think we can both agree, when we started playing, we weren't that great. You know what I mean? It takes time. You know what I'm saying? You got to get into the flow of things. Now, granted, I've gotten into A rank. I'm pretty proud of that. You're a legend. obviously. But you know what I'm saying? Like even somebody like me who can be a little bit of a novice, I'm holding my own, and it's a damn good game to do that. I love this game.
Yeah, it's a fun game to get better at for sure. And I think that, definitely a thing that's going to play a factor in here is the mental game, because there's going to be very often that these racers are going to get kind of barraged with items, and they're going to need to figure out how to either deal with it or just kind of shrug it off and just kind of be like, okay, well, I got hit by an item, but I can still get enough rings to get speed back up and get back into the race. Like all that plays a factor. So I'm looking to see like how well players bounce back is what I'm trying to say. So I'm excited to see how these racers do that throughout these 16 races that we're going to be having tonight.
That really is the crux of any like good racing game, is like how well you can kind of wade through the pressure and sometimes the annoyance and frustration of those items. Like you're going into a lap number 3, you're in first place, and then bam, one item can just make the difference. In the case of CrossWorlds, you got Slicer, you got Rocket Punch, Homing Punch. There's a lot of things that can really just kind of offset you. But granted, to the game's credit, you do have some good defensive abilities that you could take advantage of as well. Like me personally, whenever I get a shield, I'm just holding on for dear life, because I know at some point, if I'm middling between like that 3rd and 6th place, that's going to be very crucial. Tornado is something else that can be very helpful. A lot of these kind of like defensively minded things that can also be kind of offensively minded too. In the case of Tornado, is actually something that you're really going to have to want to take advantage of and play to the best of your ability.
Yeah, for sure. I think that one of the biggest strategies that I feel like you're not going to know until you do more races is if you're going into lap 3, you definitely want to have a defensive item of some kind or some way to defend yourself, because getting hit in the beginning of lap 3, maybe the end of lap 2, is probably one of the worst places to get hit, because it's so difficult to build those rings back up. Now, on lap 3s, for those who don't know, you get extra rings that are put out throughout the track. So in theory, it should be easier to build those back up. But that's also the time that people are wanting to let those items fly. Yep. They're trying to hit you. They're trying to take position. So it's definitely like okay, well, how do I kind of get a more consistent play style here? And those defensive items are definitely a great way to do it.
100%. One thing that I appreciate about CrossWorlds too is, and you just kind of touched on it, about how the rings are such an important part, is sometimes I actually see people prioritizing getting their ring count to the maximum over like maybe going for an item box or two. Like, and I think that's actually not a bad idea. Like the advantage that you get with that speed, with those rings just accumulating, it is something to be noted, like 100%. Like in those, head-to-heads down the stretch, you're gonna wish you had you're gonna wish you're sitting at 80 rings while the other guy's at 50. It's going to make a difference. Like it really is possible. So right now, just waiting for our players to queue up and get things started. Now, I know you've played a ton of this. Who is your main go-to character, Emerald? Who would the people see you on whenever you're queuing up and racing on?
It's been I've gone through different phases, because I've started to appreciate different things kind of as my play style has kind of grown over time. Like at first I went with the handling characters, handling vehicles, and that's mostly because taking those turns when you're getting used to the driving, it's it's a different thing you got to get used to, and having a handling character just makes it a little bit more simple at the start. Then I messed around with some speed characters, and I was like, this is fun. But I think now what I'm really starting to appreciate more is the power characters. So I've been playing a lot of Omega, the robot.
Oh, buddy.
Yeah, he's got a lot of character for being a robot, I think. But he is just a really solid pillar, right? It's really difficult to push him off of the road. I was playing Rouge for a while. I would say Rouge was probably my main.
That's my girl.
Yeah, Rouge is really cool.
Yep.
I was playing the AI skin version of her, the red cybernetic skin of her. That was really cool. But I was getting bullied too much on the track, man. I had to do something about it. So I decided to switch it up and play some of the power characters, at least in the legend competition at those really high rankings,
It sounds to me like you decided to become the bully. I think that's
perhaps.
Yeah.
I wasn't going too full into it though, because you could go super hardcore bully mode. There are gadget sets in the game where if you're just trying to have a good time and throw items at people and make it more difficult for them, you can do that, and it is really fun to do that. But I decided to not go fully into the evil,
I've played on stream a number of times. Obviously, I really enjoy this game, and I've actually had somebody come in from a race I was in. I was like, "Hey, man, GG's. I think I just griefed you." I'm just like, "What? I would have rather you just held that chat, man. That's your first chat message? Oh, come on, man." Those are the kind of things. But that's That's what kind of raises my competitive fervor, if you will. You know what I mean? It makes me want to get better. It makes me want to get good. You know, for me too, handling is my main thing that I prefer, right? So Rouge,
Mhm.
obviously a character I lean into. And I think that's really like, you know, whenever I encounter somebody who's like, oh, you know, is this, you know, how good is this game? Should I try it? I'm like, absolutely. But if you want to get like a good feel for like the just how to kind of play the game, always recommend personally starting on a handling character because it
Mhm.
just helped me get through the courses more efficiently. And then from there, what you learn the routes, you learn the shortcuts, you learn what to expect, what's coming around the next turn without too many issues. I think it just kind of works out in my favor. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, just getting familiarity, I think it's a great way to start out. Just making sure that you also get a feel for like where item sets are as well. I think that's like another big
Yeah.
factor in this game, like understanding where like how many more sets of items you'll have to like go through before making it to the finish line, and just kind of like playing around that. That kind of takes more time, but like definitely the big turns and stuff, handling is the way to go at the beginning.
I
Um,
I think it's because there's just so many, right? Like there's just
oh
so
yeah,
many different combinations in this game, and that's another thing that I really appreciate. Like you're never gonna get tired of experimenting, right? Like you know, half the
yeah.
time, like I'll ask a question, like man, I remember like this was like a month ago. I remember I asked, I was like, man, I wish I could just kind of like swap the order of my items. So I was like, oh, there's a gadget for that. I was like, what? Like you know what I mean?
Yup.
Like it's just something like just stuff you don't know, and you're just going to just exploring. Like you know, if you stream it, you know, like your community can definitely be very, very, very helpful in that regard for sure. So one of
Yeah,
the
I
good
mean, even for
things.
me, like I've played a lot of this game and there's still a bunch of gadget sets that I haven't personally tried. Like I've seen them in action and seen like what they do, but
Yeah,
you know, you eventually get a little bit comfortable with specific builds and you're like, all right, I like this. I'm gonna start racing with this.
absolutely. So that's kind of like one of the things I'm looking forward to seeing when we do get our first race underway. Is who is it? Has anybody just like kind of tailored those gadgets yet, or are we just kind of going like, oh, like I'm just queuing up. We'll see what happens. You got some time right now, I recommend checking out those gadgets. Have your chat help you customize something that's going to do you justice. Again, I can't overstate this enough. It's a lot of money on the line at this tournament. I mean, third place 2,000, second place 5,000, first place 13,000. You see, I remember that so well because I wanted to compete for it. But Coney took my spot. I'm saying it. I'm putting it out there. He stole my keys to the car, and now he's revved up and racing. Big Coney, but I still believe in you. Carry on the throne, my boy. Carry on the throne. I'm very comfortable in my commentator's booth.
I was about to say, man, you better hope that he wins then if you're if you're feeling that way about him.
Nah,
Yeah,
we'll
we'll
see
see
what
what
happens.
happens, man. I'm excited to see. Like, just like you said, we have like a pretty limited amount of gadget sets that they're going to be using today, but there's definitely some good ones in there. Kind of something like Air Trick Expert, for example. That's going to be a good one. That's
Yep.
one that you build up your trick boost quicker because you can do more tricks quicker in the air. You get a faster boost when you land. There's all sorts of ramps and stuff and many different situations where you're going to be put into the air. Give yourself a little bit of a boost right after landing because actually being in the air is a little bit slow. So to help like kind of like counteract that, that's a really great gadget to use. And one of the more general ones that I think that a lot of people should be using is probably the level 1 quick charge. That's a
Mm.
gadget that allows you to build up your drift meter really quickly
Yep.
so that as soon as you're done with a drift from a turn, you get a boost right out of
Boom.
it.
Just go.
And you don't have to worry about building it up for too long or holding that drift for a certain amount of time. It's just like boom, done.
Yeah, gadgets like that that kind of like just kind of help you get more accustomed to how you should be playing. Definitely do recommend those on high volume. Now, for you, Emerald, what would you recommend? Because one thing that I felt like was kind of like it took me a little while to kind of get used to when it
Mhm.
came to CrossWorlds. The water portions of the state, they don't feel. It doesn't feel like it plays like other racing games. It's a little bit more tough and tactical. I feel like there's some method to that madness. Would you explain to people like what's the best way to kind of combat that water crossing those
Yeah,
seas?
Yeah, for sure. I think well, one, it depends on your build. I think for sure,
Yeah.
because like obviously, if you got Air Trick Expert, maybe it's worth doing like just a charge jump. That's what the drifting in the water does. Is you can do a charge jump. If you're getting off those level ones and then you just have Air Trick Expert, you're able to get quick boosts one after the other. So just like right after the other, boom, boom, boom. Uh, but one of the things that people don't really quite get, I feel like when they're starting out with this game, is it feels sometimes like the turns and stuff, you need to let go of accelerate
Yeah.
and just hold the drift. Hold the drift and then hold the direction because then you get more control over those big sweeping turns. Like for example, in Water Palace, one of the first tracks that you race on, there's that big water turn that you have to take, and letting go of accelerate there is massive. It plays a big role in how well you can drive, and also trying to stay away from other racers. That's another big one, because if you bump into racers whether you're on the track or in the water or in the air, it kind of makes it more difficult to steer.
Yeah.
You have less control over your vehicle when that's happening. So trying to stay away from that big pack of racers in one section is another good way to make sure that you have more agency over your driving, and stuff like that. But yeah, there's all sorts of different play styles, as you mentioned with the boat riding sections. There's also the plane sections, and flying in those sections can be really difficult as well, because you have to kind of snake back and forth to charge up your drift, going back and forth in the sky. And of course, the controls feel a little bit different. So the racers are going to have to get used to playing a few different play styles for sure.
Yeah, I think, and that's why we are being so generous with giving you guys 16 courses to participate in, all randomly selected, by the way. So there's not going to be any repeat courses. The 16 that we have were kind of randomly selected and then randomly selected for the order as well, right? So you kind of have that knowledge of like, okay, you know what's coming up, and you know it's like it's not only like I'll give people a little bit of a spoiler actually. One of the easiest stages, E Stadium, is actually either last or second to last when it comes, which is actually amazing if you think about it, Emerald, because you got something like Crystal Mine up here. That can be a little bit of a challenging one, I believe, for sure. But then having E Stadium last when you're in double points for the last 4 races, I think that's actually fantastic, because by that time, you have more of a handle on what you're trying to accomplish. And you know, if you get a good standing, boom, I just earned double the points.
Yeah, you're gonna feel like you're flying at that point for sure. And I think one of the things that's gonna be weird, I think, to get used to with only racing on these tracks once as well, is understanding where some of the off-road shortcuts are to make a really big difference in coming back. Like, for example, Sand Road is their second track, but there is probably 3 or 4 really meaningful off-road shortcuts that racers could take if they have the proper item for it, like a boost or, let's say, a monster truck or something like that. So it'll be interesting to see, like, you know, kind of sight reading the tracks, and, or, you know, there's going to be players who do have a leg up. They maybe have more hours in the game. They're going to be able to utilize those shortcuts really easily. And maybe as long as the other racers who might be newer are paying attention, they'll be able to pick up a thing or two from just watching that, from the first lap into like the last lap, for example.
I'm telling you, the greatest advantage you can have, guys, because you're all streamers, lean on your chat, okay? Lean on your chat. Let them tell you what to do. There's nothing wrong with that. That's why it's a streaming event. It's like an open book test. They want you to utilize it. That's just me, you know. I was just saying, you know. I don't know.
Yeah, take the info that's available for sure.
Exactly, 100%. So, you know, honestly, at this point, excuse me, I'm itching to go so much. I kind of wish I was racing right now. I'm not even gonna lie to you. We're talking about it so much. It's hard not to just want to be out there on the battlefield. Now, for you, Emerald, do you prefer casting, or do you like competing more, or is like a good balance for you?
I like a good balance. I think that I'm starting to get a little bit more comfortable with casting in general, I'd say, over the past few years, because I'm a gamer through and through.
Oh, of course, I know.
I'm mainly like a speedrunner. I do a lot of like Sonic speedrunning, for example. And I play a lot of Sonic games, bro. I love Sonic. But I definitely have that competitive spirit as well. I love any kind of competition. That's why when I saw that they had legend competition for this game, I said, I have to get Emerald rank, bro. Like, that's got to be the goal. Because I just want to be able to prove myself that, like, even just to myself, that I'm capable of getting better at games. Like, I love that feeling. Yeah.
Having a game that you really like and something you can aspire for is always a W in my book. So I completely understand what you're saying on that front. Now, is there any additional, how do I say this? Is there anything additional that you would like to see for CrossWorlds as far as like ranking goes? Like, how far do you think they can really kind of push it for like beyond legendary, right? Like, how far do you think they could push it?
Right. Well, I really do like the system that they have currently as far as how legend competition works. It's for like a couple of weeks.
Yep.
There's going to be kind of like a refresh for the rankings later down the line. I think that's really good. And they've already made some changes too, with a patch where they were having people queue with like less bots, which I think was also a great change. That way you're racing more against like, you know, real racers and stuff like that. So I think honestly, they're making the changes right now that needed to happen. And I think with more time, I can have like a better answer for you, because right now it honestly feels really good. It is definitely really challenging for sure.
Yeah.
But you know, that's part of the draw to it, at least for me. Like I enjoy that. Having to get better and learn how to adapt on the fly.
All right. Well, if you enjoy that, you're going to love this. Our games are finally starting, Emerald, and I could not be more enthused about what we're going to see. Remember, that first rivalry to keep an eye on is going to be KDB and Will Neff. So
5.
appropriate that we start on Will Neff. Let's see. And he's piloting
Perfect start
here. And he's on that board, Emerald. He's ready to take some names and taking that speed route clearly.
Yes, sir. He's got that extreme gear, and extreme gear, if you guys don't know, is kind of like the glass cannon machine in this game. It can really help you get a nice lead, but if you're going to get hit with an item, it's really hard to get that speed back up. So we're going to see how Will Neff adapts to that. Already driving, from what I can see, really well, taking good drifts and going through these boost rings to get a little bit of an extra speed boost.
Right off the rip, from what I can see, Will was just like,
Fuck you,
what, we got a
motherfucker.
little extra time to practice. I know I got a rivalry here. I'm going to utilize it to the best of my abilities and not doing a bad job. Clearly, third place. Oh, make that second, just snaking up there. But our girl, Doki Doki, not surprised to see her currently, I think, in first place, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, GB Doki taking a lead here, and we're going to see our first instance of the cross-world mechanic. There's 2 different types of tracks you can pick from here. You can either pick a standard track that you can see where you're going to go, or pick a random one. And GB Doki ended up picking a random one. So we're here on Holoska, where we're going to be coming up to a big water section here. Oh, Chibi Doki getting bullied in this ice tunnel.
What I love about Chibi is she is just pure chaos and pure fun, okay? Anytime you're spectating her, you know you're in for a treat. And even right here in 9th place, though, not at all too far behind. Only on that second of 3 laps. Nothing to worry about that. Might get the right item pool to boost her back up, but we shall see. But right now, Katie B, 7th place. Not sure if that's a before or after Will Neff. I see Adrian right there, big chilling as well. A lot of our names here just jockeying for position right now. But again, being one of our rivalries for the first one, we are going to keep an eye on Katie. Trying to get in there.
Yeah, KDB getting the triple boost there to get herself back into a more favorable position. She's probably going to need some more rings here to be able to maintain that lead, but the items here should help her out a lot. She's got the double wisp here. Oh, she didn't use it in time to avoid the Dark Chow, but she's in 5th place, so she might actually get a couple items here that are useful to her.
Yeah, I don't know. I would have probably wanted to hold on to my boost, so I would have just elected to let that whip just to kind of dodge the Chow. But you know what? You know, to your point, maybe she's just expecting something better could come out of that, so I'm not going to fault it.
Yeah.
But everyone's got their own strategy, you know what I mean? Everyone's got their own style.
Yes, sir. And honestly, I thought that bomb was going to hit Coney, just barely missing.
Slicer.
And, yeah, getting caught with the slicer. Gonna want to probably burn that boost wisp right now, as she did. Try to get back and kind of save. Oh, almost running into the monster truck. Okay, it looks like, let's see how the standings finished out for this first race here. Chibi looking like she got somewhere around 3rd.
Okay, not horrible. Not horrible.
And that's not horrible. I agree. 7th is right in the middle of the pack.
Yes, sir. That's exactly what. And honestly, you know, seeing Will Neff, he finished above KDB, so beating his rival out there, not too bad, not too shabby.
Yep, that's the main thing we're kind of gonna keep an eye on for. Now we do keep in mind, of course, it is the first course right there. Maybe those nerves, maybe those jitters are just moving along, but nonetheless, that was an excellent way to kick things off. A very exciting gameplay for sure. As we see clearly, you know, 1 map down and then 3 to go.
Yeah, and coming up now, we got Sand Road. Sand Road is a really fun track to race on. It's got a lot of big sweeping turns that may be a little bit challenging for some of our racers, but there's also, if you have the good knowledge here, there's a bunch of off-road shortcuts that these racers could take. And we have our next featured rivalry coming up here. We got Seer, who's going to be piloting Shadow, versus Pokelulz, who's got Amy.
You know, I want to say that I think Pokelulz would be more of the feared rival here, but I don't know. Something about Seer's
ghost defensive item. Okay, that's
hard to count that son of a gun out. It really is.
And he's a character where I can never tell what he's thinking, and I think that he's going to be able to convert that into his play style onto the track. So we're starting here with Coney. He's got the warp ring item, so this is actually a gadget, and the way that this works is you can kind of teleport on top of a racer that is in front of you. So holding on to this gadget for a long period of time would be beneficial for sure.
You know what I
mean? Let's see if Coney uses that to his advantage.
Yeah, you kind of get down to that.
It's not just an offensive item. So like I went off the road there. So,
oh yeah, that's
look at that.
play because I think
What?
almost was getting stuck in the sand
What?
as well too. So you kind of just mitigate that, keep yourself
What?
in a nice, comfortable lead. Got the magnet just tossed there.
What was
get
that?
Some points. Look at Coney enjoying a
Did I
nice,
just
comfortable. first
Sega,
place
if you're
to
watching
sail on
this,
that
I don't
ladder.
know what happened.
Yeah, that was good awareness by
wasn't
Coney.
me.
Let's
I'm
see what
cheating,
items
I'm
he
cheating, I'm
gets.
cheating.
He's got a magnet. It's kind of difficult
It's like that
to
Apex
use. I
thing.
think he's just electing to get
All
rid of
right,
that.
my
And
bad,
getting
my
a
bad.
hit on
I don't know
Sin there,
what
actually.
happened there. That
That actually worked to his advantage
you
to
know what I'm
pop that
saying? Like,
item early.
we're going this
Absolutely.
place. I don't know which way it
You know,
is,
too,
but
of
that's where
course,
we're going.
obviously being in those higher places, you're not going to see those like boost kind of slash comeback items.
Bro, wait, is
Here,
he
more
using the
defensive
band,
stuff for sure
the
is going to
band
be
thing?
on the menu. So when you are in those higher
He better
places,
not
like
be
Cody is
using
right
the
now,
band, what's it
buying
called?
with
The
You're definitely gonna
hoverboard.
understand. You have to play it a little
I
bit
read the
differently.
rules,
We'll
bro.
see what's coming
What's
up
he
next.
using?
Yeah, and I'm excited to see how the racers
Why did I
deal
get
with
this
this
first?
section because there's
to
a
cut
bunch
the
of
car in
rolling
half.
golden balls that are in this area
That's my
that
ultimate
are
ability, bro.
very easy to accidentally tap with your machine and then get flattened by. So managing to escape that without getting hit, but Coney getting hit by a weight item as well as Chibidoki. Those weights target the first and second
I could
place
charge that.
racers,
Oops.
but it doesn't look like they're going to take too much of a lead hit for that.
I keep
Yeah, that's the benefit of being able to give yourself a pretty comfortable lead is when you do get something that targets you in first place, like King Boom Boo, something like a slime, and right there, just all the weights. It's kind of mitigated a little bit because you have such a strong lead. You're going to kind of try and keep that stronghold going.
Yeah, we got Seer here, not far behind on the lead racers here. Could easily get himself in front of them. Has max rings. That is so important.
Yeah.
If you guys don't know, having max rings makes it so that you have access to your top speed. So you want to be at top speed as much as humanly
Hold the man
possible.
down.
Getting slowed down by
Hold
the
the man
slime
down.
here, losing the items is gonna hurt, but there is one more item set coming up. It just makes it so that he's unable to take this last shortcut here.
Serious, man. Very much so impressed me. Oh, that's a big miss, though, to not get that item. That is huge. And that might just seal his fate in third place, maybe even fourth. We'll see. Down the stretch right now, Emerald. This is the final lap. Or the
I
final
think
stretch.
that's
Excuse me.
Tony
Oh,
up
there's
front.
the slicer.
Oh, yes, Seer gets hit by the slicer, and they got in fifth
I think that's second.
place.
Is that second?
Okay, poke walls. Wait a minute. Yeah, Seer, unfortunately, experiencing one of the things that happens very often in this race, not being
Okay.
prepared for having a defensive item at that final section.
Coney
It's
guy,
very tense. There's items
I
flying
expect him to
left
win
and
this
right.
thing. I think that guy
You
is
never
insane
know
at
what can
every,
happen
like,
in that final stretch.
Mario type
and I think that's
deal,
part of what
or
makes this game
what's Mario?
so
I don't know what that
exhilarating.
is.
100%. Like right there, you're just thinking like, okay, like, you know, even for example, you see that slicer. Oh, what would have happened if he had like maybe a tornado, if he had the shield right there? Could have been some difference makers for sure. But unfortunately, you did not. And that's why you go from what I think was like going to be like maybe a third place to what I think was fifth or sixth, if I'm not mistaken. But Poke, you saw right there, cruising through, getting second place, and then proclaiming after that, Emerald, oh yeah, we're going to win this thing. We're going to win this thing. You keep racing like that, my man, you just might.
Yeah, that's that comfort, man. Now that you got 2 races down, you get a better idea of kind of how the feel of the game is, what the flow of the competition is going to be like, because it's not just getting used to the tracks, it's getting used to your competitors.
Oh,
so
100%. Yes. Very
yeah,
well said.
so getting that comfortability that early is, if he can keep that confidence, I think he's going to do very well in the rest of this event.
would
I
agree
love
with
you,
man.
Joe.
That
Thank
kind
you, my
of
friend.
cadence is huge.
Dude, I don't know if I'm
as
allowed
we
to talk
take
about
a
the
look
prizing,
at
but
Coney,
first
and
place
we'll
for
try to
this
see
is
where, kind of
insane.
flesh out where Coney
Money.
is. Like after every 4
So
races,
if I
we should
get
be able to
that,
peek
I mean,
on that
everything's
leaderboard
good
for
money,
you,
but
so you guys can know exactly what's going
all right.
on. right
Wait,
there.
that's not
Big
60?
boost.
Oh, somebody told me that was 60. That joint
Yeah, the
was
beginning
not
of
60.
these races, I feel like for this first lap, a lot of times the way that racers want to be playing is, you know, don't put too much stake into being
I
like
accidentally
too
went
far
off-road.
ahead in the
Take
first
this.
place. Just build up your rings as best as you can. And Coney using that warp ring gadget, laughing
is a
about
very funny item
how useful
to
that was
use
in
when
that
you're
section.
in
He
first.
drove
You better not
off-road
get
just
ahead
very
of me.
briefly,
I'm
and again, that
cut-
awareness to just pop
Mon's
it to
cut
get back
his
to the
car in
lead
half,
was really
Yep.
great.
Yeah, it was the same thing that we saw in the previous. Like, oh, I hit the sand. Oh, it's okay. Warp
Oh,
ring.
he-
Like,
he
it's just
got
the
his car
kind of like
back.
the perfect
How did he do
opening
that?
gambit, if you will. And now has the spike ball.
His
The
car
cross
was
behind.
cut in
Oh, and he's
half
gonna
for
clip
an
Agent,
extremely
who's
short
hot on
amount
his
of
tail
time.
right
That was
there,
a very bad
but
play
still
by
ends
me.
up in 5th place right now.
What a snipe, though.
All right, let's see
Well,
where the
sure.
CrossWorlds brings us. We're in Magma Planet. Now, this
still
might be a
I'd
be
bit
able to
difficult
talk about what
to
insurance he might
maneuver
have.
through because we have these kind of
Might
like
have been a good
lava
neighbor.
magma dragons kind of flying through the air. There's a lot of
W ad
obstacles
read
that could
there.
get into the racer's way here, so let's see how they deal with it.
I wanted that
Definitely
10.
gotta keep an eye
Oops.
on that, Coney, though.
Dude,
Third
I do
place right
not
now.
like the bomb item.
Doing a terrific job. If I'm not mistaken, too. Wasn't
it better
Agent
to
just
fly
like
or to
literally
drive?
at a dealership before even coming on
Yeah.
to this competition? So
Oh my God.
clearly some
Okay, I didn't know that
IRL
the bomb
practice
could
for
do that.
Agent paying off pretty well.
Yeah, I gotta say that I'm very impressed about the fact that he comes home and he locks in for this tournament. That's the spirit of a real competitor there. We got Wake here, getting hit by on the extreme gear. Like we said, it is really difficult once you're like getting hit by an item or an obstacle to kind of come back from that. But getting the slime here, it's going to slow some of the racers down in front of him. Let's see how Coney reacts to this. Good awareness, using the boost to escape it, and holding a shield in hand right here. Coney could not be in a better position. Yeah.
Seriously, that's amazing. Having the knowing when to use that,
Oh,
you know
the
what I'm saying, is
phone.
so good. Like that.
That
boost
grass
itself is
always screws me over. Okay, relax
item
right now.
In and of itself.
It's okay. What do we get? An item. We're gonna get an item.
Oh,
Big play coming
make a play
here.
right now from second to sitting at ninth right
play.
now on this third lap. You gotta do a little better than that. Let's see if this item can help him out just a tad bit. Couple
yeah.
of boosties to whip through.
Get some boost, and also, missing that last item set that might have been crucial in securing his victory. Somebody else kind of stole it from him right before he could get to this final stretch, and let's see what happens here. Avoiding the spiked ball. That was scary. Good job from Pokelulz.
Yeah.
Kind of mitigating the damage there on that final stretch.
Yeah, definitely got to wonder what could have happened if he was able to get to that item set, as you pointed out. But sixth place finish, considering some of the chaos that we saw unfolding, not the worst position to be in, that's for sure.
Yeah, and I'm really, we haven't been able to get a great look to see what the standings are, but I'm super, super excited to see how the racers are doing. It kind of looked like Coney getting that first place there, as well as Chibidoki keeping up in the top 3 spots. I believe both of them might be featured there. Let's see when we get there. But coming up, we have a new rivalry.
Oh, Coney versus Wake. Well, I'll tell you what, from the brief clips that we saw from Wake, good luck, brother. Okay.
It's gonna be tough.
Wake. That's my guy. That's my guy. But definitely struggling a little bit to get the get the boogie with the board, if you know what I'm saying.
No, I think, one thing that I'm sure that Wake has is good mental strength, man.
Yes.
He's a very active guy. He's in the gym all the time. I've seen him working out a lot. I feel like he knows how to like keep a calm mind and be able to come back. So who knows? Maybe he'll see this rivalry. He'll know that he has to put a little bit more of a target on Coney's back.
All right, well, we will see if it does indeed pan out. Again, Coney gotta be the majority of everyone's favorite right now, just from what we've seen. But Wake looking to maybe go a little wild right now. Let's see how this first lap treats him.
And this section here is a very notable section for anybody who's played this game. This specific,
tight corridors, man.
Yeah, these tight corridors in Apodos can create a lot of chaos, especially on that third lap. Right now, we're not going to see too much happening. In fact, Wake kind of just avoiding a lot of the items being thrown his way, going into this this shortcut route off to the side to get some safe rings, some items. He's going to be sitting in a good position if he can take a place with throwing a bomb forward or something.
Yeah, the only thing that's worrying me about Wake mainly is how he's taking some of those turns in those corners, right? Kind of when you hit that wall, man, you're definitely losing a lot of speed right there. So you got to make sure you're a little bit more crisp on those turns. This is a good example right here, especially when you got the right gear to kind of complement that speed
That guy
you're
just
going
got
for, too.
absorbed.
Do not want to let
Y'all
that
see
go
that?
to waste as we swap over to
That guy
Coney
got
here in
abducted.
7th place. Okay, Saints. Well, somebody apparently got abducted. Okay, all right. I don't know what happened there,
This
but
one's kinda
good luck to
scary.
you.
Oh my God,
Luckily, it's only
Frenzy.
lap number 2.
Yeah, and speaking
Frenzy
of
what?
going into lap
Frenzy
2
boost?
here,
No.
we're
Oh,
seeing
it's
our
these.
first instance of Frenzy. So
Oh my
if
God.
you notice, sometimes there'll be a green
Dude, I do not like
emblem
Wake
that'll
Cave.
be
All right,
above
I'll do
the
this.
portals
I'll do
for the
this.
crossroad that you're going
I just
to,
wanna get through
which
Wake
will
Cave. I don't
indicate
like
that there
this
is a
match.
special event happening during that lap. And for
Okay,
this
that's a
one, for
very
example,
short
we
one,
have
okay, whatever.
boost rings everywhere. So every time that one of the racers
Oh, no.
goes through
Okay.
these pink gates, they're going to get a little boost of speed. And you can definitely use that if you drive through them really well to take positions back and maybe get closer to the
Mods cut his
front.
car in
Oh,
half.
yeah, and that's something
use
that
the
you
cut
can
his
really
car in
benefit
half
from, too,
ultimate
if you're
ability.
one of those
Okay,
racers
is
who
that
tends to kind of
okay?
be towards the front, because you get to reap the benefits of that, too. That is not exclusive to somebody who's like in the 7th and below. No,
won't hit me.
that kind
He's
of
too-
frenzy
nope,
is
he's
available
too
to all
scared, bro.
competitors. So if you're in that those top slots, yeah, you know how
Oh
to
my
play,
God.
you know how to
No,
race. You're
what?
getting,
Oh,
oh my goodness, no! Oh no!
What?
Tragedy
We mentioned
struck.
it. It's tragedy unfolding in front of our very
No
eyes.
way.
Happens to the best of us, man. That's that
And look who's in
Apodos
first
hallway.
place.
Yo,
Look who's in
Wake.
first.
No, Wake's got this, bro. Okay, he's got a green. Oh no, getting hit by the monster truck. He wasn't able to avoid it in time.
Unfortunate. Oh man.
Anything can happen in an instant in Sonic Racing CrossWorlds, that's for sure. Cody
look-
taking the lead back though.
How did this happen? This is so insane.
Oh, but Agent,
my
honestly,
goodness.
he's got a good lead here if he can.
Woo!
Oh no, Cody
Oh, no,
gonna take.
Cody!
He must just have a lot more rings than him right now. That's
Yeah, 100. Look, it's 130. He's up there, bro. Past
he
the
is up
cap.
there. Yeah, and
What
that's
happened to
the
my
difference
car there,
maker,
by
man.
the
On those
way?
straightaways, like that's where having
Okay,
those
Slipstream,
a
dude,
large
I
amount
don't
of
know if
rings
it
at the
was
end can matter
Slipstream.
so much.
I don't
Cody
know
being
if it
maxed out at
was
top speed there,
Robotnik being
tough for Agent
fast,
to
but
catch back up.
And it's really too to note too, because I believe like once you max out at 100, right? Like that's the top speed.
Yes.
But when you have something that enables you to carry more rings, it's more generous for when you do take those hits. Oh, I get bumped down, I lose 20. That's good. I'm still at 110. It's beautiful.
Yeah, and I think that's where like Coney's kind of taking into like his previous like experience with this game
Yes.
into account, because he's aware that, oh, these rings are really important. I'm gonna need something for a little bit more consistency to make
Yep.
sure that I am always at 100 rings. So brilliant play by Coney. He got hit there, had a pretty big mistake there at the beginning of lap 3, and managed to take back over.
I just want to give props to getting like that stage is great, but that straightaway, it could be a little frustrating in some of those corridors too. You saw where Coney got stuck, but was still able to kind of bounce back and still get the lead. That is incredible stuff right there. On the other side of that coin, though, you see the duality of the game when Wake is in first place, doesn't have a way to defend himself, and that monster truck just took him out. That's why sometimes it helps to check your rear view. Check your rear view, see what's coming up behind you. The game does alert you. You got a split second to react, and that can kind of make a difference. But that's 4 races down. We got, math is hard, 12 more to go, and those will be on the other side of this break. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back for more of the CrossWorlds Cup. All right, guys, welcome back. Welcome back. Thanks for sitting through that brief intermission, but we are back with the CrossWorlds Cup for Sonic CrossWorlds EE and Emerald here. And man, Emerald, we had some outstanding action to kick things off in that opening block with those four races that we saw. A lot of good talent. Maybe some people kind of even in positions that we didn't think would do so well, trying to make a name for themselves early on.
Yeah, I'm saying, like, I'm seeing a lot. I mean, a very standout performance so far, I got to say, from Coney. Coney is doing a phenomenal job on the tracks. And we're actually going to be able to take a second here to look at this leaderboard and get the true standings of how everybody's placing after that first block of races.
My goodness. I mean, you mentioned the standout Coney, and clearly that is the case. He has accumulated 55 points. That is insane right there. But Chibidoki, somebody who you pointed out, Emerald, is definitely like a little bit of a veteran to these competitive races right there. In second place, 41, followed by Poke Big Chillin' at 29, and then Sear at 28, and so on and so forth. So when I kind of look at this isn't really anything that's insurmountable. Even if you're Caroline or Will, you can still kind of have in the mind, like, okay, the next cluster of races is a time to definitely accumulate some points. Not necessarily, you know, everyone's consistency isn't guaranteed. Yes, Coney, I believe, has won 3 out of the 4 races so far. Big deal, Zach. We're all so impressed, okay? Big deal. Doesn't mean that consistency is going to be there. And keep in mind, those last 4 clusters, Emerald, being worth double points. This leaderboard is very impressive right now, but subject to change.
Yeah, absolutely. It's anybody's tournament to win still, especially, you know, those people that are in the middle of the pack, they're really not that far behind. All it's going to take is for Coney to get like a few lower placings, or Chibidoki, same thing, and Pokeballs or Sear or literally anybody else could take back the lead, especially like you said with those double points. That's huge, man. Like, that's going to be a big game changer at the end for sure.
Percent right there. Well, let's talk about things that can change a game with our rivalries right now. And the featured rivalry we're going to have going into race number 4 is going to be Chibidoki and KDB. Definitely 2 fan favorites in the lobby for sure. Going to be duking it out. We'll see if they happen to come across each other. Little item shenanigans could be up for grabs. You never know. But either way, going to be exciting to keep an eye on that as well. Just so many good players, Emerald, that we do have the pleasure of highlighting throughout all of these courses.
Yeah, I'm excited to see like everybody's different play styles, everybody's personality. Maybe they, you know, change their car up a little bit to be a little bit more personalized to their liking. That's one of the things I love about this game, is because there is just so much like personality you can have in just your racer in the game in general, whether it's the gadgets you're using, the machine you're using, or just like down to the paint or like the decals and stuff. Like all that stuff is a really nice way to stand out.
Yeah, I mean, we even saw like I believe like even like quickly between some rounds, we saw Agent like looking at some new customizations to add, which I think is just fantastic. You know what I mean? Again, you have so many great aesthetics and so many skins to choose from. Why not take advantage of that as we shift over to race number 5, featuring one of our rival players, Chibidoki.
Yeah,
currently in second place on that leaderboard, by the way.
Yeah, we're gonna see how she does in this next block of races. We're here on Radical Highway. Radical Highway has like a few smaller shortcuts that I'd be surprised if our racers take advantage of, but we'll see. You got there's a jump there that you can do to like cut off a little bit of the road, and as well as this big bridge coming up, you can drive on the side of it. But it's really risky. It can be really scary up there, because if you get hit by an item, you're gonna be really far behind. So let's see if our racers take note.
All right, well, let us find out. KDB on the other side of this featured rivalry for this particular race. Let's see. KDB, Chibidoki going to be the ones to watch. KDB right now just middling along in the middle of the pack right there. Oh, not getting an item there.
It's going to be really awkward if y'all don't let a female win.
Oh, no. And there's the tornado right there. And another miss on the items. You can't let those go to waste. You really got to, like, accumulate them. That really is the difference maker, because it's so much easier to mount a little bit of a comeback when you're towards the middle of the pack than all the way at the end. Even if it's something like
I did it.
Monster truck or a drill, there's only so far you want to be.
Whoa!
Yeah, and we got, I noticed that Chibidoki and Coney are still here near the front, kind of, you know, bumping into each other, creating a little bit of a rivalry of their own. Getting hit by that red glove is going to be a big game changer, though. Coney is going to have to get rings back up. Chibidoki's having a tough time here dealing with all these dinosaurs that are running among the dinosaur jungle here.
Yeah, that is definitely one of the fun CrossWorlds for sure. And anytime dinosaurs are involved, I'm a big fan. That's kind of why Wonder Museum is actually my favorite course, period. You know what I'm talking about on that last lap for sure. But,
Oh yeah, when everything comes to life.
love that. But 12th right now for Mr. First Place.
Behold.
Will this remain the trend? Or
fine.
can Coney bounce back? We're not used to seeing him in these lower portions of the pack.
Yeah, we're gonna have to see if he gets an item to kind of switch that up. And again, as we've said before here, on these lap 3s, more rings become available. I noticed he was kind of around like 40, so it should be easy as long as they're not getting stole by other racers. He can get back up
That's
to
not gonna
speed,
hit,
and he's already
right?
back to
Not
4th
hit.
place.
Okay.
Let's go. All right.
Sick, I take an item.
Looking good. Chibi Oh, last minute
Oh.
gets flattened by that monster truck again. You gotta use
got it, guys.
your
This is
rear
fine.
view mirror. Take a look at what's behind you and then just
We need
scoot
items
over a
to take
tad
it.
bit, a little more
Not
to the
focus
left. And I
items.
think she could have avoided that, Emerald.
Yeah, absolutely. If you have a little bit more quick awareness there, you can try to dodge that whenever possible. It's really tough when you do get hit, but she has an opportunity to get items here. KDB getting snuffed out again for that item, unable to grab it. Another racer had stolen it from her as she tried to pass it. Let's see if she gets something here to change the tide. A red glove to hit, I believe. Yeah, that's Agent.
All right.
Maybe get in front of him here at the very last stretch.
Ooh, okay, she's got full rings, so this is actually
Come on.
great for the straightaway portion of this.
Come on.
Could maybe make a move here, at least
Third.
maintain her position.
Third place.
Okay, third
Third
place
place.
pops
Third
off at that
place.
too. Very well earned there. A nice little bounce back from KDB after a rocky few first laps.
Yeah, you got to be feeling good about that, right?
Third
After
place.
having a few races where you're maybe not
Yeah.
placing where you want to, getting a
Who want
top
me?
3 placing here
I'm
is
telling you,
massive.
if you're in
Not
last
only just for the
place-
mental, but also for the points. I mean, that's a lot of points to come back to.
Oh, absolutely. And two, on top of that, I don't know if you noticed though, but for the first time out of these races, finally Coney not finishing in the top 3, 4th place.
Ooh,
I told you that leaderboard could be subject to change. I'm not hating. I'm just saying.
that's true. Anything can happen, man. Anything can happen with these races. I'm excited to see what goes down as we continue through these races. But you know, maybe Coney was getting a little bit too comfortable. Maybe that's what was going down. You know?
No doubt about that. Now, Chibi also kind of finished like towards the bottom right there. I think I saw either like 6 or 7, something around that range. So definitely a little bit of a shakeup going into that 5th game with those results right there, which is what you want to see. Again, people get more comfortable. Those stages change up a little bit. You never know what can happen. As our next rivalry is on the stage right there, it is going to be Agent.
Yeah, I'm a Silver fan. I hope Caroline does well for this one. Let's see what happens though. The next track that we're going to be going to is going to be, I believe, be Water Palace. Water Palace has that the water that we were talking about the last time with the boats and the charge jumps and stuff. So
Yeah, the wisps you have to hold because you can use them for defense and you can use them to move fast. The wisps you gotta hold, bro.
Courses with that feature a lot of the water. You know,
There we go. That's launch.
We'll see how this works out as our first rival right there, Agent, playing my girl Rouge. I ain't mad about that. Let's go. That's all about that handling, baby. You need it for a game like this. Let's see
yeah,
if
definitely
Agent-
it's gonna help him here in that water section too, I think. All right, Agent trying to get some rings. Notice that the other racers were kind of going for him, opted to like kind of steer away from him, stay middle of the track. Oh, getting that item right before.
Surprised, right? Yeah.
Yeah, so Tails was trying to steal that from him.
So close right there. Okay, just gonna let that boost rip through. And coming up here, this is gonna be with you. I believe what you were talking about with having to be very cautious on how you take this turn.
That's what I was saying, man. You got to stay away from people on the water because they'll just bump into you, and then you're both unable to move.
Maybe a little unfamiliarity with the course. Could have saved that boost and just cut across that grassy part and avoid a few of these other racers. But nonetheless, still keeping it pretty tight right here.
Yeah, we're going into Galactic Parade for our CrossWorld here. Definitely, I was about to say that this is a difficult one to race on because there's not a lot of guardrails here on these outside sections here. So drivers are going to have to play maybe a little bit safer, trying to drive closer to the middle. And we'll see how they adapt to it, but it's very easy to fall off the side here with unfamiliarity.
100%. What I would say, though, for Agent that kind of works in his favor is playing somebody like Rouge is going to allow you to have at least a little bit more handling, so you get a little bit more comfortable on some of those turns for sure. You just don't want to overdo it. You see Caroline just letting that boost rip through. Silver looking good, looking back, and looking to make an impact right now. Let's see what items coming through. Some more of those stunning boosties. I love it. Can't be
Yeah,
mad
this
at
is
that.
This is a great place to have them because, you know, if you can keep these boosts later on, you might be able to take a good off-road shortcut But being in 8th place here, I wouldn't be too mad if she decided to burn them like she did there, because you're definitely going to be able to get good items in 8th place.
If you're like kind of chilling up here in like maybe like 3rd or 4th, that's good to kind of just move around and like chow shenanigans, right? In a lot of those tricky positions. But yeah, to your point, when you're back there, just let it rip, similar to what you just did with that drill. The ultimate difference maker when you are behind.
Yeah, for sure. And it looks like right now the pack is really, really, really close. If we get these, whatever this final item is going to play a big part in what happens for the final stretch of this race.
Gotta be something good. Let's see. Oh, the drill! Yes! You couldn't ask for a better item this close to the finish line. If you can get through these turns, you'll be okay. Let's see. The boosts are going to be right there. Can you just capitalize a little bit?
Rings.
One. Give me two. Could be a top 3 finish we're looking at. I think it might be. Woo!
She really locked in there in the final moments and decided, you know, she took those boost rings expertly. I'm really happy to see that she got a great placing there.
100% in between her and Agent. Look at that. Just fantastic stuff. Showing up in a major way right there. I think, what, 3rd and 4th respectively, if I'm not mistaken, with those placings. Beautiful stuff. That might be the closest rivalry that we had in a particular course that's been so neck and neck.
Yeah, for sure. I was going to say, what more would you want out of a rivalry than having a very close race like that, being neck and neck the whole time? Really good play by Caroline there at the end. Really showing out for sure.
Yeah, that was fantastic stuff all around. Wow. And you can definitely see people are getting more comfortable. I'm seeing, and then, you know, I mean, it doesn't matter if she's comfortable or not. You know, Chibi Doki gonna let those screams go either way. But that was very funny to kind of to kick things off 100%. But definitely loving what we are seeing thus far as these rivalries continue to not disappoint us at all.
Yeah, we got Burke Black here, who's going to be piloting Knuckles, and Simcopter 1, who's going to be on Eggman. These are 2 power type characters. Oh, yeah, they're one to be bullying on the course. So we're going to see if they use that to their advantage here on Mystic Jungle.
Turn, man. Kind of fell behind.
Well, you already know it's all about, like, are you the bullier or do you take the bullying? You know what I'm saying? If you're playing characters like this, those big bruisers, as I like to say, oh yeah, you've got some evil intentions in mind.
Absolutely. Oh, and
unfortunately,
Simcopter actually getting bullied himself there, getting pushed off the side of the road at the beginning.
It's okay. He's using the bagging strategy. It makes sense. Like, you know, I want.
Yeah, it is true. Yeah, man, it's all part of the plan.
There you go.
Now, I will say again, the first lap here, take it as easy as you need to. Do what you think is the most comfortable, because what really matters is the 2nd and 3rd lap there. Just because I feel like that's when like the big plays really happen.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't get the item? Oh, that sucks.
He's getting a wide turn there. He's looking good on rings now. Having 50 rings here in this first lap, very good. But Chibi Doki far and away and ahead, picking the CrossWorld. It's going to have a frenzy. We're going to have to see which one it is this time.
I'm curious.
Okay, we have the drift meter boost frenzy. So what this does is basically any time that you initiate a drift, it charges it way faster than it typically would. That doesn't matter what vehicle you're using, whether it's the car, the plane, the boat. We're going to see all 3 here in Kraken Bay, but it's going to help you get a little bit of a speed boost.
And 100%, you know, again, to remind folks, those perks are not exclusive to no matter to your placement. You're in first place, you can still get all those boosts and enjoy just building upon that lead even further. Agent right now got the tornado in hand. He lets to rip that. Gotta be careful though. Don't let this Kraken take you out. He smashes without discrimination. Okay, anybody can catch it.
And we're going back to Burke Black here. He's got the triple boost wisp here in 11th place. Yeah, electing to burn those, get a little bit more speed in the air. There's nothing wrong with that. We got an item set coming up here. He's looking good on rings, so I think he's in a good position to try to take a higher placing.
Let's see, the item will definitely make or break right now. Okay, gets a boost and a laser as well. Let's see when we're going to pull the trigger on that. Oh, that drill, though. Yeah, sometimes the drill comes through and just collects casualties. You know what I mean? Like, not intentional like the monster truck, but it is what it is. Iron Spike Ball right here for Chibi Doki, which is actually pretty good to have. First place, watch the snake. Oh, no, it slithered right into potentially costing her this lead right now. What's it going to be? Chibi Doki and Coney.
I will not touch you.
Oh, it looks like I think he has a shield. Yeah, Coney is just going to pop the shield, try to get her with the spike ball right at the end. But our top 2 is going to be yet again Coney and Chibi Doki.
Very interchangeable. I think Agent right there, maybe 3rd or 4th as well. So definitely feeling himself as well. Been quietly, 3rd place. They've been quietly a problem throughout the entirety of this. Unfortunately, though, Sim and Burke Black, our rivalry for that one, gonna have to occupy some of those lower placings, or middle of the pack, not lower, middle of the pack right there, respectively.
Yeah, unfortunately, we
yeah.
saw Sim get hit there by that drill wisp near the end of that lap, and that's a big difference maker. It's really tough to know that you got to just be like, try to avoid the center of the track whenever you know that a drill is coming your way.
Yeah.
But it's definitely switched up the placings a bit, that's for sure.
It's just, I mean, it's the casualties, you know. Sometimes, like, you know, you can do everything right, but then just like somebody just comes through, not much you can do about it. You know what I mean? It is what it is. But credits to the consistency that Coney and Chibidoki have been showing. So I think it's only appropriate, Emerald, that they are our next featured rivalry. They have been at the top of the leaderboard. Obviously vying for position right now. They got a chance to really go at it in our next rivalry.
Yeah, they're going to be going at it at Coral Town. Coral Town is a track that has a bunch of different pathways to take. And I feel like, you know, between Coney and Chibidoki, they might have a little bit more experience on this track. They might have like a better idea of where the fastest route is. There's also a really crazy shortcut that the racers can pull off. That's definitely more of a crazy advanced route. I don't think we'll see it here, but
is that the portal one?
No, so there's one where you can like kind of go off of the lip of like a higher point of the track and land on a lower point, going over like a big gap. But if you fall into the gap, it's risky though, because if you fall into that gap, it's pretty much the race is over.
Oh,
so
okay, gotcha. All right.
I'm doing my own. I have no
we'll see.
idea.
I mean, look, desperate times may call for desperate measures. We'll see how that third lap is looking.
I'm a
if anyone
trendsetter,
elects to
maybe.
try and pull a rabbit out the hat. Good use of the boost right there over some of that more muddy landscape, and that's going to keep Chibidoki in first place momentarily as Coney takes a little bit of a shot, gets knocked back.
I remember that.
I don't know this map.
Tony having trouble with the rings. He's saying he's gonna remember that.
He
I
means
feel like
that too,
that's
by the way. He means that.
I feel like I do the exact same thing when I'm playing this game. If somebody hits me with an item, I'm like, oh really? Okay, it's first lap. You want to play like that?
You gotta let them know you got it's 3 long laps. All right, get back come time.
I'll remember you when I got a tornado in my hand. Is all I'm saying, you know.
I'm not mad at you. We got Agent right now. Certainly not mad at how he's been playing. Been very, very good.
Hey, he's got a green glove here. It homes onto somebody, but it also kind of like you could fire it like that as well without the homing shot. He ended up missing his target, but he's gonna have probably another offensive item from this. Yep, there's the red glove.
Let's see.
Ooh.
Fly, and then KDB, the recipient of that hit. That's going to Agent into second place.
That's a brutal one. It takes 50 rings from you, man. That's a lot of rings.
Yeah, it's nothing pleasant. Because that's when you get hit with those. You're feeling targeted. Like, oh, we got beat.
Oh yeah, absolutely. No, I'm really mad. That's all I'm gonna say is I get really mad when I get hit by one of those.
And did you see the iron spike ball that he flung behind too? Also took out KDB. She has just been on the receiving end of all of his defensive items. And right there, King Boom Boo knocking out Chibidoki momentarily. So Agent right now, first place unchallenged at the moment. We'll see if he can hold that on this third lap right now. Coney trying to make some ground. I wonder if it's too little too late though.
And we got our big final item set coming up here. We'll see what happens. Katie managed to find herself back in second place. That was impressive, actually, after getting hit so many times.
What is this? What?
Oh, he's got a boost here. He's going to pop it right away. I can't tell who's in the front. It's Agent.
No. Agent.
Oh, Agent getting... Oh, that's got to be like 3 items he just got hit by EE.
That's actually pretty fortunate, though, to get hit with the slime here, but you can mitigate it a little bit with the last-minute boost rings that are available on that straightaway to finish up that course. So not the worst place to get hit with the slime, but did definitely dictate some of the outcome for that one, as we see Chibidoki able to grind back to first, followed by Coney and Agent.
Yeah, Agent trying to prove that he's somebody to watch out for here as well. You know, he's definitely been placing a lot better in these last few races. So he's trying to be the third rival. You know what I'm saying?
Agent said, look, I don't just buy cars, I drive them too. I believe you, okay?
Yeah.
Everything I'm saying, I believe you, brother. You got it, okay? Definitely hanging on there and keeping these stand-ins moving right now. This has just been exceptional to watch thus far. Another great 4 races down, and we have 8 more to go, if my math serves me correctly. It does. So on the other side of this break, we'll be back with not only the leaderboard, but an interview with a very special guest. We'll see you in just a bit. All right, guys, as always, appreciate your patience and welcome back to the CrossWorld Cup here for Sonic CrossWorlds. Amazing game and what has been an amazing competition thus far. Me and Emerald have been having a blast as we take a quick little peek at that updated leaderboard. You can see Coney and Chibidoki still occupying those top two spots, but Wake Wilder just kind of seemingly out of nowhere crept up in that third, trailed really closely right there by Agent as well. So definitely Emerald, we'll talk a little bit more later, more about the leaderboard later on, because as I promised before we went to break, we have a very special guest for our interview. So why don't we bring his beautiful face on with us? I'm talking about the one and only Seer. What's up, Unc? How you doing?
Very good. As a 35-year-old here with all these other people, it feels really good. I went to my barber, got a fresh cut, feeling real good, as you can see, better than ever. What do you guys think?
I personally think you look fantastic. I like how
Looking fresh, man.
Exactly.
Thank you.
The Sonic aesthetic too.
You guys
right
are good
there.
at lying.
I think you look great, man. Especially the Sonic headphones. No, I gotta say, that's drip right there, man. Shout outs to that.
Oh, worse. I just turned 36 and I forgot about it.
Oh no.
Welcome to the club, my man. It feels good to be up here. I'll leave it at that. But speaking of being up there, you've been up there in the middle of the pack so far. You got a second place, but other than that, you haven't you haven't been too far in the lead, but you haven't been too far behind. You've been right in the middle, which I think is pretty good for getting yourself ready to just kind of have a big second half, because we do have 8 more races to go. How are you feeling right now about your performance thus far in the competition?
Well, I really am going in as I'm just going in angry, really is what I'm doing. I feel like I'm being targeted. I actually feel like I'm being targeted. I feel like whenever I start doing good, someone tries to ruin it. And the only way that I can not have an aneurysm or have a heart attack is to relax and understand that nothing matters until the third round. There's been times where I've been in 12th place halfway through the third round, and you just get the nice, I switched gadgets actually from ring-based culture to defense item-based culture. I realized I wasn't in a situation where I was getting enough rings for it to even matter to begin with. So I just switched over. Defense has been working for me, and I'm trying to calm down, but I truly do feel like everyone's trying to attack me.
I was actually about to ask you, if you were feeling like switching up your strategy was better. It seems like maybe that switching to that defensive strategy is working out better for you. Do you feel like okay, so having rings in this game is really important to make sure that you're at top speed. Do you feel like you're getting losing those rings in pivotal positions to where it's difficult for you to catch back up? Is that kind of where things are going wrong here?
Well, I came to the conclusion that on average, I wasn't getting more than, around 50 to 70 rings was probably my peak. And
Okay.
I had a buff that basically gives you 30, the bounty at the beginning if you hit the boost. And then another one that you could max ring, I think 120. I was never getting that, so that's why I switched to defense. I wasn't really getting to where I needed to be ringually speaking. But if I can get them, I will. But I realize people are just getting those rings in front of me, and it's making me angry. I want to quit. I'm going to quit streaming if I do not win this or place third, at least. I'm tired of placing 5th. I don't know why it's 5th every time, and I'm personally angry about that.
Well, hold on now. Now, to be fair though, 5th is better than 12th.
That is true. That is true. But it's like being half dead and dead. It's like, well, it's all the same thing at this point. 5th is just pathetic in my opinion. Yeah.
Well, according to the leaderboard, you're still at least halfway alive, because you are, you're in 5th right now. You got 60 points accumulated. If you're able to go on a little bit of a run, you can get up to that podium level. Remember, we pay up to 3rd, so you can get up to that podium level. I mean, I'm sure you'd feel great usurping Wake out of that spot anyway.
Yeah, I'm gonna go in there. I'm gonna try and remain calm. I realize not paying attention to chat helps, and just focusing and staying calm and just waiting till that 3rd round. Nothing matters till that 3rd round.
Absolutely. I mean, not only is just item play and stuff like that, and you're just driving ability just important for this game, but the mental is really, really important. So if you can manage to just keep level head, don't look at chat, just do your own thing, play your own race, I think you'll be just fine, man. You're doing still pretty good. So
thank you. Looking to make a name for myself. That's all.
All right, kid. We'll get back out there on the track. We'll be watching.
Thank you, guys.
And thank you, Sierra. I mean, look, if he's starting to let the mental kind of crumble a little bit. I don't know. He was starting to say he was getting a little bit angry, but I mean, hey, if you
mental is
in,
the key word there. My man was ready to crash out. Okay.
Yeah. No, but he's playing. I would say, as great as it's not to hear that playing middle of the pack is good, it still keeps you in a good position to be able to take the lead at any moment, especially with those double points coming up that are in that final round. We still got to look forward to that. We still have one more block of races before double points, I believe. So, you know, just keep the consistency for now. If you can creep ahead at the end, then that's all you need.
That's really what it's all about. Just, you know, you hit the nail on the head right there. Consistency is key. And, you know, for him, again, when I see the fact that he's kind of like, you know, middling in the middle of the pack, that's not a bad thing at all. If you're able to just kind of turn it up to another gear, especially after you've made some adjustments to your gadgets and your strategy that are going to be beneficial to you, that's a wonderful thing. But on the other side, we have to keep in mind too, Emerald, other people too are making changes. I was hearing Agent made some changes as well. Maybe Coney could be switching up a little bit as well. Like, if you're really trying to maintain and go crazy, you got to make sure you're keeping yourself up to date and fresh to death. And we're just talking to Seer. I think it's only appropriate that he's our next featured person in the rivalry, going up against KDB. As well with the characters. It's just faded, my man. It's just faded.
I was going to say, that's a classic rivalry, the Sonic versus Shadow, and we're going to see it go down here on our first track, Chow Park. Now, Chow Park is definitely another one of those tracks where things are pretty congested, right? Like, the races are going to be close together a lot of the times. There's some big jumps that you can take here on this roller coaster ride of a track. It's really fun to race on, but, you know, you can get switched up on in an instance by getting hit with a couple items that maybe even weren't aimed at you. They could have been aimed at somebody else, but it's so close quarters that you could just catch a stray there.
Yeah, I tell you what, too, one thing that they need to be aware of, too, the water section on that final lap. That can be very, very frustrating to deal with as well. So hopefully some of the practice that they've taken so far will help them out, because let me tell you something, that could be a deal breaker. But let's go, starting off with the man of the hour who just had on the mic with us. That is Seer, looking not to crash out, but go the distance.
Yeah, he's sitting here with, as he said, the defense items up gadget, so that way he can roll more defensive items while he's in this first place here. Getting that tornado, being a little bit more aggressive with it. I actually like that. Trying to hit Coney there, just shy of missing that hitbox there. But he's definitely pushing his way to the front here.
All right, let's see. Like how we're keeping a good watchful eye on him and actually showing up and performing big time. Takes a little bit of a hit right there.
Trying to bring you down again. There you go.
But to his credit, as he said, rings don't really matter, bro. He's just going for victory, so I can respect it. Fourth place right now as we switch over to KDB in fifth. So right hot on his heels.
Yeah, we're going on into White Cave here. This track is definitely difficult to get a hang for. There's a lot of drops, a lot of kind of half pipe turns here. Wow, really good job to KDB for avoiding that monster truck there.
Yes.
Agent kind of swinging back and forth trying to get anybody in front of him to knock him behind, but keeping a level head here. KDB is going to be using the boost whip to get some more items here. And this is what I was talking about. There's a lot of drops here. It's really difficult to stay on the track, but KDB doing a really good job at staying center track.
Yeah, it's fortunate too, though, if you kind of think about it. On some of these tracks that we see, all the times you kind of drop off, you're just off the stage in general. This one you just have to take kind of like a new path or whatever. So definitely not the worst thing to fall off in this particular section as we are heading into lap number 3. And let me tell you something. I've often gotten frustrated some of the times on this stage because of those 90-degree turns and those tight roads that can really just kind of take the wind out of your sail, but obviously not the case for Chibi Doki. She is firmly feeling good in first place, and the tornado, one of the best things you can have in first place, in my opinion. I don't know, Emerald, she's looking pretty good to maybe bring this one home. 100
Yeah, I would say she's in a phenomenal position. Max rings, fire tornado. You know, you're ready for anything that could come your way. She's got to try to stay low to the ground here. Good job not getting knocked up too high by those fountains there.
She takes that turn, no complaints at all. And in the slime time, see you later. You wish you were touching that fire tornado, burning that to ash. Bomb drop just for good measure. She's taking that first place. Nobody even in sight.
Oh, wow. She was so far ahead of the other racers. Coney, it looks like maybe squeaking out a 7th place again, keeping the rivalry alive, but Chibi really ran away with that one. That was a phenomenal race by her.
Wow. Oh, and then
Horse here.
Here, yeah. Well, listen, it's okay, Unc. Keep it moving.
It's tough, man. I saw that he got hit at the end of that second lap. I mean, that is the, like I said, worst place to get hit, because it's just you have to do so much work to be able to get back into the lead. It's doable. For sure it is doable, but it just makes it a lot harder on yourself.
Yeah, it's just, sometimes it's just time and place. When did I get hit and how much time is left? You know what I'm saying? Like, it is what it is. But nonetheless, Chibi with a stellar performance. Definitely seeing as we completed right there, I believe that was course number 8. Or 9, excuse me, as we completed that, I could definitely see, like, Chibi is definitely perhaps the biggest threat so far to that first place. Again, her and Coney vying for positioning up there. Coney gets a few more of those lower places, and she keeps that consistency with those top, 3, 2, and 1s. It's going to be tough to show, but we'll keep a watchful eye on that as Chibi Doki remains in the spotlight for us, Emerald, because the new rival right now going to be going up against Agent.
Yeah, an Agent, it sounded like he was switching up his strategy a little bit. I actually kind of missed to see where he placed in that prior race, but we know that he's been doing a good job at getting a lot more comfortable. I think finishing around the middle of the pack. So, I mean, he definitely could give Chibi a run for her money, as well as if Agent is taking note. I think one of the things that's great about this game is, like, if you know that somebody has a point lead, you can start maybe targeting them a little bit to try to make sure that they're not earning as many points.
You see, you said the quiet part out loud. You see, I was trying not to give them that idea, even though I know they're thinking for them. I think like, oh, the commentator said it. I guess it's okay.
I mean, hey, I'm saying anybody has access to that strategy. That's all I'm going to say. That's all I'm going to say. That's just a little bit of the meta game of playing a bunch of races here where the score kind of adds up here. Agent taking an early shortcut there. That was actually a really great way to, like, stay with the rest of the pack, getting some rings here. We're on Rainbow Garden, by the way. This is kind of the track that introduces you more to the flying. And beautiful flower garden here in this final turn here. I love this section of the map.
Oh, I almost got a level 3. I should have held it.
Right there, really just working out for Chibi. Okay. And even as well as she does, she's always a rage machine. I love it. The consistency not only on the track, but on the comms as well.
She plays with her heart on her sleeve, that's for sure. You always know what Chibi's thinking about.
Yeah. Misses that out on that item, though. Unfortunately, over here to first place going to be Asian. Remember, they have the rivalry in this particular course, so we're going to watchful eye out. Who's outplacing who? Be careful.
Well, yeah, getting bullied here under this train can be tough because hitting the sides of those wheels can knock away some rings for you, slow you down a little bit.
Yes.
Agent recovering well, though. He's got a red glove here to stop anybody that might try to get in front of him. Getting the rings up. He's looking low, though. He's probably going to need to collect some more to maintain this lead.
Here right now, first place, for a defensive item.
That felt targeted, man. He sent that backwards towards.
Yeah. Whenever you send something backwards, you're just like, I want you. Honestly, he's probably like, you know what? Oh, you're thinking about retiring? Let me help you get there a little quicker.
Yeah. All right, see, he's got that defensive. Oh, Agent tried to back red him again, bro. That's crazy.
That's fine though. If I'm feeling really good right here on this third one because I do have that shield available. Dude. See if he'll when he elects to pull it. Being very disciplined right now.
Oh, brilliant. Oh, yeah, that was perfect use of that shield.
Yes.
Avoiding that tornado as well. I was literally about to say that is probably one of the scariest items to see in somebody's hands that's in front of you. Because if you get hit by that, you're going to get stopped in an instant and lose half your rings.
Let's see. Woo! Oh, no. Chibi gets sliced up there. Tony in second or third place. Who is that? Who is that? Is that Seer? Oh, my goodness.
Oh, Seer dodged the bomb, too.
Oh, no. I think he got snaked. I think he got snaked out of that first.
Who did
I think that was Cody.
If I'm Seer, I'm feeling some type of way about that. That's for sure. I think Coney is stealing the first place there. That was insane.
All right.
Wow.
Okay.
He seemingly came out of nowhere too. Seer was sitting really pretty in that first place position for a little bit on that final stretch.
Yeah,
that King Boom Boo switched it up.
Yeah, I remember like when last we saw Coney, I think it was in like 7th or 8th. So him just kind of slide and glide into that first place. And you saw him just posing, waiting for it, like Randy Orton just waiting for it. And there he was, crowning first place again. All right, nice bounce back from Coney.
Yeah, for sure. That King Boom Boo played a huge role. If you guys are unfamiliar with that item, it targets the person that's in first place.
Yep.
And if you get hit by the fire pillar there, you get hit for 50 rings. So it's one of those items that takes a lot of rings from you. Really hard to get back into the fray of things. And if you're in first place without a defensive item, you're going to be hurting. That's for sure.
No doubt about that. I think the hurt is real right now with Seer. No wonder they queued up this rivalry. Seer and Coney coming up right now. I am excited for this one because Seer, too, had a really good bounce back himself. That previous game that we saw him on, I believe it was Chow Park, he got 11th. Then you switch over to Rainbow Garden. A little bit of a bounce back right there, and you're able to get a second place. But could have been first if not for Coney, who last minute swooped in. So I understand what's breeding the content here for this rivalry. Let's
Whoever
see.
was in front of me, bro. You know.
Yeah,
like,
I'm not gonna lie. I think that
My
if I'm
bad,
Seer
like,
right now, as soon as I
you
see
rock
Eggman
first.
in that
Dude,
blue
it's
car,
weird,
I'm
like,
letting the item
way
fly.
that
I don't care
the,
what place I'm in.
I'm glad you specified the blue card because there is another Eggman in this lobby. Don't want to have a casualty. Just
Yeah,
throw
of
that
course,
out
of
there,
course.
but
Don't want to
yeah.
get mixed. Hey, you're looking at the nameplate before you're letting the gloves fly, you know?
There you
So,
go.
okay, we're at Metal Harbor. Metal Harbor here has, this flying section here. We're going to be going through a classic Sonic Adventure 2 stage, one of my favorite Sonic games for sure. And we have Coney here. He's taking an early lead with a boost wisp. This is a great position to be in.
100%. Getting those early leads, of course, with those boosties, always something you want to have. Shield right there, though, for Seer. We saw him use it to perfection in that last outing in the previous race, for sure, to defend against that fire tornado. We'll see if it comes up again right now.
Well, there's one there. Yeah, Katie letting it fly there. And, I don't know if she managed to tag anybody there, but it'll slow anybody down in an instant and make them have a bad time, that's for sure. Okay, taking a little bit of a shortcut. Agent with a boost. Yeah. Oh, he is locked in, too. He is leaned into his camera. You can tell that he really wants to place well in these races.
Oh,
That's a true
100%.
competitor right there.
That's that gamer lean, bro. And Agent's somebody that hasn't been shy about challenging people to games in general. I saw him make like kind of an open game challenge to anybody who thinks they're good enough to take him out in several titles. So this is a guy who definitely has a competitive vibe to him. I'm glad to see him bring it to the CrossWorlds track, and right now paying off pretty darn well as he's in top 2 position right now. Of course, no surprise, Chibi Doki right there working along with it. Oh no, Chibi, I'm so sorry it happened to you.
Oh no, Chibi honestly probably just had a little bit too much speed going off of that bouncing like hot air balloon there, and just falling a little bit short of that gap. Hopefully she doesn't fall too far back in the placings, but we switched back here to Coney, who is got no rings, but he's trying to get a different item. He's cycling through that shield right now. Maybe get something better to make a favorable position change.
And we'll see. I mean, you're that high up. It's harder to get some of those game-changing items in that regard, but nonetheless could be on the menu for Seer, who's right now fighting just to get out of those lower places right there. Oh, gets the double item box. I was a little scared for him, and collected some rings along the way. There's going to be a boost and a laser. See when he elects to pull that. Coney, ciao.
Yeah, Coney has an off-road. This Omochao allows you to take an off-road shortcut while he's giving you rings. However, there is no more off-road shortcuts for this section, so good call by Coney to just burn it and see if he can get something different here for the end. Oh, and hitting Chibi Doki. That's going to be huge. She's going to fall really far back in the placings, and I believe this is Simcopter maybe getting... Is that a first place?
I think so. Yes, it was. Simcopter quietly making a big move. We saw him in the last cluster of races. A little bit down on himself, trying to what's it going to take? Well, right there, my man, you just found that second gear to get that first place. Well done.
Big win.
Yeah, really doing really well. And honestly, it's surprising to see that Chibi Doki managed to still pull out a second place there after Coney hit her with that tornado. I mean, that can be a really big game-changing item. So the fact that she was able to keep it together and pull back into a good placing, even finishing in front of Coney, is really impressive.
100%. Yeah, very good stuff all around from our racers. Again, like we have these rivalries that we have to kind of highlight, that kind of play off some of the interactions that we've also seen throughout these courses, but it's still some of those other racers that always throw a wrench into what you might have planned with said rival right there. And just out of nowhere, we saw Sim make a big play. First place right there. Very solid for him. As we have one more course, Emerald, before we get into double points, and it's going to be Blizzard Valley, which I must confess is one of the more frustrating stages that I've played along. So I'm sure you can understand why.
Yes, it is a very difficult track to get used to. I think that a lot of players find that they do not really like Blizzard Valley that much until they have a lot more time on it. Like I love Blizzard Valley, but I was feeling similarly. It was one of my courses I had a more difficult time getting used to. And that's because this first section here that you can see in the picture actually has a bit of ice physics. So trying to deal with the different physics with your driving, if the racers aren't ready for that, they're going to be driving off-road a little bit and going to have to use some items to get back into a better placing.
Yeah, we talk about how the water, the water portions of stages and courses can really be the difference maker. Well, check out this terrain change with that ice, man. I feel like for this, like if you're a power type or like a handling type, you're going to have a little bit of an easier time navigating through this, but you are definitely going to feel the difference, especially if you're not accustomed to it, to your point as well.
Very early.
Yeah, and you could see there right at the beginning, Simcopter accidentally driving kind of on the off-road, doing it again. So here, it's definitely something that you got to get used to. Maybe do a little bit earlier of a drift than you typically would. And here's another section that might be kind of hard. Let's see how Wake deals with it. He actually took that pretty well.
Yeah, and if I'm not mistaken, too, is this the only... Ooh, that's unfortunate for Wake, but is this the only course that we have that features an icy terrain?
I believe so, yes. At least so far of the courses that we have seen, there isn't anything that's quite like Blizzard Valley, so that's why I think it's a big curveball for these racers here.
1000%. I think they did a good job kind of putting it here right before getting the double points. But you will be rewarded if you have a little bit of knowledge. Let's see right now, first place Agent. Oh, excuse me, Agent and KDB vying for first place. Watch out for those golden balls right there getting smushed. Not what you want to see. Especially when you're trying to accumulate some rings. Agent definitely was short on there as we switch over to Tony. Crossing that 50 marker right behind KDB. And the slicer could clear out a little bit of a pass. Oh, Chungus on the receiving end. Poor Seer. Every time we see Seer, he's just getting cut down. What did he do to deserve this?
I was about to say, man, literally, I feel like anytime we see an item come out of somebody's hand or somebody getting hit, it's always Seer who's getting hit. Poor Seer.
And he's so stoic right now, too. All right, good to get the drill wisp there. That's going to be definitely a game changer. And allow you to dodge the slime as well.
Now, sadly, this item cannot dodge the ghost, so being in front here is not very good.
Yeah, talking. Literally, she just spoke that into existence. I was gonna let her finish that thought. That Void Wisp is, it can be good against projectiles, but it is not good at defending yourself from the King Boom Boo. And she got hit right in that instant as soon as she said it. Commentator cursed herself, unfortunately.
It's not like the shield that makes you infallible, right? You can definitely, there's still some things that can get through, and unfortunately for her, that is one of them. But to her credit, I mean, still in first place, not letting that slow her down at all.
Seer getting hit by a stray again. I don't even know what that item was, but...
Well, look at Seer. He's bounced his way up from 12th to 3rd place, doing a good job on this final lap. Could be huge.
You could definitely still do something here. Get some rings. That was a great drift. Missing that item, but there's another double item set here. Let's see what you get, man. This could be the game changer. A boost wisp, that's huge.
Wow. I would just let that shield rip too, just in case.
Yep.
Going through this
He might
last
be
portion
listening
right
to
now.
you.
Oh, the rings could make the difference. He's pulling ahead. He pulled ahead. That right there, that's 92 rings making the difference right there by an inch. Guarantee you.
Yeah, that, not to mention, he got the slipstream there. If you don't know, if you're falling behind another racer, it actually allows you, like if you're directly behind them, to get a little bit of a speed boost to be able to get in front of them. And Seer, maybe not even knowing that he did that, did it in a way that was perfect for him to take a higher position. So good stuff to him.
Yeah, good stuff to Seer. Definitely needed that to avoid the potential crash out that was looming. Good stuff, everybody. Just moving out the way and letting him get there, okay? Excellent stuff from Seer on that one. Something to note there as well, though. I saw Coney in 8th place. A little bit of a low right there. Not sure where Chibi finished. I think maybe she got 1st place, if I'm not mistaken, just based off the chat. But either way, definitely could be some shakeups in this leaderboard coming up as we've been teasing. We're definitely starting to see things unfold as people get more and more comfortable with how it's going down. It looks like a little bit of a teaser here for that featured rivalry that's going to be up for our next cluster of matches, Seer and Chibidoki.
Yeah, and coming up now is what we've been talking about the whole time, is these double point races. Now, this is going to be, if you have been feeling like you maybe are not been playing that well, this is the time to wake up. This is the time to make sure you keep your head on straight and just try to maybe hit some of the other higher placing racers down. I don't know. That's what I would be doing. I'm trying to finish in front of Coney or something.
If it comes between knocking somebody in 1st or just behind you, keeping them at bay, knowing that that point differential is that close, look, no one's going to blame you, okay? No one's going to blame you. I got a feeling these last 4 races are going to be super chaotic, and we'll get to that on the other side of this break. The last break before the final 4 races with double points on the line, as well as the CrossWorlds World Cup title. We'll see in just a bit. Yes, sir. You already know we are back at it again. Your boy E and Emerald. We are here returning to the CrossWorlds Cup for Sonic Racing CrossWorlds. Such a good game, such a good tournament thus far. So it's only appropriate that we have another good interview. Isn't that right, Emerald?
Yes, sir. And I believe with us in the booth, we have Pokelaws.
Yo, what's going on?
What's up, man? How are you feeling?
I mean, I was doing good, but you know, I'm getting knocked down a lot. But hopefully, these next 4 matches, I win.
Well, I think you're not doing too bad. Let's bring up the leaderboard so we can everybody can see how it's going. Let's take a look at the leaderboard, okay? Okay, let's see. Pokelaws. Okay, you're 10th. So you're in double-digit placing right now, right? But you have an opportunity to really accumulate a lot of points. Because I don't know if you know this, these last 4 races are worth double the points.
Do you guys have any advice for me? Like, have you guys been watching my gameplay? Like, what do I do? I'm stressing out here.
How about this? Because we don't see all the perspectives at all times. Where is it the most that you feel like you're losing position? Is it like right at the end? Is it like
I'm getting first place at the end? I'm getting it, and then Burke Black comes in with the fucking freaking sorry.
There you go, buddy.
Very sorry. This race got me.
The truck?
Dude, I'm going to Sonic. I love Sonic.
Okay.
Anyways, the truck got me emotional. Very
Yeah,
sorry
I got you,
about
man.
that.
No, I think honestly, one of the things that you should try to maybe do then is like, going into lap 3, maybe sit more a little bit back rather than being near the front. Just make sure you got your rings. Rings are like, that's the one thing I see like a lot of racers, maybe they underestimate like how important it is to have max rings. Just try to be at max rings whenever you can be. Stick at that middle of the pack, maybe on the final stretch there, maybe get a better item leading into like, the last like section, whether it's like a defensive item or something that you can
I messed up at the water part. When you're in the water and I'm doing the boost, but I'm jumping. I don't know if I'm actually gaining speed or not. Should I just be driving, like just go straight in the water or not?
So if you're charging up the jumps, the higher the number, the more boost you get when you land. Now, if you're on like a turn or something, just try to like stay away from the other racers because if they bump into you, it's hard to turn. But also let go of accelerate. Yes. And that goes for any turns. That's like the biggest piece of advice I could help you with for like doing the turns is like, it's not like brake drifting. You just want to like initiate a drift and then let go of accelerate.
I haven't been doing that. Okay.
The hardest part you're going to find with that is having the discipline to actually do it. Because everything in your brain says, let me just hold this. It's going to be for the better. As your placement shows, that's not the case. But it's okay because you can turn it around right now, Pokelaws. Now, when you see this leaderboard, I know you still believe in yourself, but if you had to pick anybody else to maybe make a run at this thing, who do you think should be the odds-on favorite?
Sear. He's been practicing every day. He's been avoiding like calls, everything. He's been just practicing Sonic all day. He hasn't been in the Sonic Discord at all. We're worried about him, but if he wins this, like I guess it's good for him,
Okay, I like how you put that if because you still got a chance, my man. You still got a chance. So I want you to take what Emerald told you, take what I told you, dust off that controller, and get back in there. Good luck.
Thank you. Love Sonic.
You got it, man. I believe.
Look, I got Sonic right here.
Hey, I love that.
Sonic, let's go.
Portly
the spirit of Sonic, man. You got it.
There it is. Okay, you know what? I'll be honest. I believe in him.
Yeah, I do too. I mean, literally, like, I think if he starts like taking the advice into account, I mean, it's just those little things, really. I mean, those small changes in strategies can be the difference maker.
Oh yeah.
And I think just seeing like we've seen Coney and Shibidoki, they're pretty far in the lead right now, but that's just because like they've had the more experience on the track. Now people like Pokelaws got more experience. They're ready for more things to come at them.
All right, well, we will see. Coming at you right now with the next rivalry, though, it is the one who we just spoke to, Pokelaws and Burke Black. Burke Black has definitely been a little bit more quieter in these races, but could very well at any given point decide when it's just time to explode and go crazy. And we have a bunch of wonderful courses right here to choose from for these double points right here. You got Colorful Mall, Wonder Museum, my personal favorite right there, Ocean View, and E Stadium, which just takes you right back to basics. So the perfect, kind of like a pretty, I would say, generous helping of courses when you have some double points on the line, Emerald.
And these are some of my favorite tracks to race on in the game. I think they're all gorgeous for their own like different reasons. I mean, you got Colorful Mall beautiful like landscape with a bunch of different stores to go visit. It's really, I mean, it stays true to the name, man. It's colorful mall. But as you said, Wonder Museum probably my favorite. We were talking about how like on lap 3, some of the dinosaurs and stuff come to life like that.
Love that.
That's the kind of like thing that the details you come to appreciate when you're playing a game like this. You know what I mean? I love stuff like that.
And for me too, it's just like, and that's kind of holds true to all these stages, right? Like every stage kind of has like just a beautiful aesthetic, something neat to it that's just like, it just makes it wonderfully itself as far as like a course goes. So I'm always a big fan of how they've kind of put this game together. And then I want to tell you something, like to close things out on E Stadium, I almost feel like that's perfect because you've gone through so many chaotic stages and areas. It's almost like, okay, a back to basics type finale that can really like have you home all the skills you've accumulated over these courses, over these races. Maybe it'll come to fruition in that final race. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, I'm really excited for E Stadium as well. I mean, there's like a lot of potential to express your playstyle a little bit better on such a simple track. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Playing into your strengths a little bit more on a track that is more neutral as far as like things that could come your way. And going back to the leaderboard here, I mean, it's looking like Coney and Shibidoki here are pretty close together at that top spot there. But we definitely don't want to count too many of these people out. Again, this last block of races is for double points. So that is going to be a huge lead shift potential, especially if maybe Coney and Shibidoki start running out of gas a little bit. And we got people like Seer who are, who've been silently creeping up. They might be able to take at least that second place spot. You never know.
I was going to say, if you're sitting in that third, fourth, or fifth position right now, you're not out of it. Like, it might be a little hard to maybe usurp and get that first place. However, because again of the double points bonus and what could potentially happen to some of those racers ahead of you, it is not impossible. So again, don't give up. This isn't John Cena's final match tapping out. I don't want to see anybody giving up. You still got plenty in the tank, so you make it do what it do. I believe, okay? Especially the fact that Seer got such a ringing endorsement from PokeLaws, so the practice is in there. Obviously, he's very passionate when he showed up to the interview, about an hour ago with us. So that just tells me right there, I'm going to say the one to watch for this final cluster of races is going to be Seer. I think that's the one to watch.
Yeah, I'm going to have to agree with you. I didn't realize just how much preparation Seer was doing for this tournament until PokeLaws kind of shed a light on that. So honestly, it makes me want to root for him more. He's trying to work at it. If he can keep that, that competitive, calm state of mind that he was trying to not tap into the anger, like he can do it. Absolutely.
I think that's kind of the mentality you have to have in a situation like this, because for a fact you're just going to have a little bit of that anxiety start to creep in. It's the last races. I know I'm like sitting here, like I could definitely, because I think I really do like what they did as well with like the distribution of prizes, only the top 3. You got to earn it. You got to earn it.
True.
Okay. I know sometimes there's like that participation, like here's $100 for showing up. No. Okay. Big bucks only right here. High rollers table for CrossWorlds. If you want to sit at that table, you got to occupy spot 1, 2, or 3. What you got? What you got?
I'm thinking that as if it sounds like Chibidoki and Coney really came to play. I mean, they have been consistently showing out this whole time. So it's up to the racers to get used to how they're playing in the different races and try to do a strategy that change something up to take their spot. I mean, there are holes in the defenses. I know it can sometimes not really feel like that, but this is the time to put all of that info into action. Make a strategy that allows you to take that top spot away. Just play a little better. Just play with a little bit more heart. I believe in the racers below them. We're going to have to see how it all plays out, though.
That competitive fervor, that's what I want to see going into this final group of races. Now, out of the courses that you would see, right? You have, again, Colorful Mall, Wonder Museum, Ocean View, and East Stadium. Which one do you think these racers should prefer as far as competing on, right? Is there anyone that particular? I know it's easy to say East Stadium because it's almost like the introductory course, but I mean, for me personally, I would prefer Wonder Museum. You know what I mean? So everybody has their own different, preferences on that front.
Yeah, for sure. I think that there are, as far as Wonder Museum goes, as well as Ocean View, they have some really Like, if they have some knowledge-based cuts there. If you know where to take the off-road shortcuts there, it's going to make a big difference. But I think this first track that we're going into, Colorful Mall, it does have like a couple of nice shortcuts, but they're less, I would say, impactful as far as like the overall placing. So it's like you don't necessarily need to play around them as much. But as far as those other tracks, having an off-road item for those shortcuts is going to be a big game changer. And here we are going into our first track, Colorful Mall, of this final block for double points. Let's see what happens. We got poke walls here.
All right, we talked to him. We gave him some advice. Now let's see if he can put that into action. And look, I'm not going to pretend like it's the easiest thing to just stop de-accelerating after you've been doing it for the entirety of the races, right? And like I said, it takes some discipline to get used to that. But Poke Laws is somebody who I see has that competitive vibe in him. If he can just figure it out, could be the difference maker. We see a solid start right now, flirting between first and fourth on the move.
Agent.
And then taking out Agent as well, apologizing. What a respectful young man. I see Poke Laws.
He's a respectful competitor, that's for sure. I was going to say, looking at that driving, it looked like he's already taken some of the advice to heart. It looked like he was doing a little bit with those, better with those drifts. Agent kind of getting bullied here, though. He got hit by poke walls and then getting hit by another ricocheting green glove trying to go through that off-road shortcut there that I mentioned.
Oh, yeah. Oh, wow.
All right. Bingo Highway.
Yeah, welcome to Vegas, baby.
Yeah, this is a fun one. You got the different like piles of chips and stuff to avoid. This is one of my favorite CrossWorlds for sure.
They put a lot of good effort into this one, obviously. Many of the stages, of course, that we see. And then taking those loops, nice kind of riding the outside there, hopping into the middle to get sure to get that item. And it's going to be the Void right now. Just unleash it. That's really good right there because he needed some coins there. So let the Void do the work for you. At least get that coin stack up a little bit as we see Chibi Doki, some unfamiliar territory, in 8th place. I'm sure that won't last. We know how good she is, but that slicer not doing her any favors. My goodness.
No, that was honestly really smart of her to burn the boost there because the slicer is going to make you drop whatever item you're holding in that first position. So just trying to get a little bit of extra distance before it gets taken away from you is a really smart move.
All right, here's Coney right now. Let's see. Okay, he's going to be getting a Void himself. Just sliding through again. Colorful Mall, beautiful stage, very aesthetically pleasing.
Yeah, that Void Wisp actually protecting him from the Dark Chow, but it's one of those situations where the Dark Chow gives you 2 items. You almost wonder, was it worth throwing that away to get? Yeah, because having 2 more items here would have been really beneficial, but there is still another item set coming up here at this top section. Let's see what happens.
Yeah, you want to make sure you get that 2 box to make sure you're maximizing that first place right now for Agent and just firing behind it. I like that too. Okay. Not even feeling the pressure to just kind of hold on to the iron spike ball. Just let it rip right there. And Coney, I think, going to get 4th or 5th. It's a little bit below his standards. Let's see where Chibi finished, though, because remember, that was a battle as well. Chibi, oh my goodness.
Both Coney and Chibidoki having an uncharacteristically not the best race. Coney's still in 4th. That's still a lot of points.
She got 10, I got 18.
But
that's
definitely Chibidoki finishing in that lower to mid placing is going to be that's a big difference maker here, especially with those double points.
Very interesting to see that. Gonna be happy to get double points because those are definitely not the usual points that they tend to accumulate. Meanwhile, though, Agent and C are 2 people we saw who are in that 3rd through 5th area, peaking right there at the right time, getting in those top 3 for both of those guys. That's going to be double points and definitely going to help them creep up a little bit more, and still 3 to come.
Yeah, we'll be excited to see this next rivalry coming up. And, you know, this has kind of been the story of the tournament, so to speak, with Chibidoki and Coney. I definitely think that these players are looking out for each other coming up into these next races, knowing that they're like the 2 top competitors. But I don't think they're just going to be a rivalry between them. I think there's going to be a rivalry for everybody else against those 2 racers being so strong in the position that they are.
See, I'll let you in on a little secret right now. The actual rivalry was the whole lobby. We just couldn't fit in the graphic. You know what I'm saying? So we had to just settle. We had to settle for 2 people. But don't get it twisted. Everybody is out for blood right now. These are the final 3 laps we are on right now. So you got to make it count big time.
Yeah, so let's see Chibidoki. We're here on Mystic Jungle. This is you know, another one of those difficult tracks to race on because of the moving water section here. Very easy to fly off the sides, but Chibidoki handling the turns like a pro. Got the tornado in hand, ready to maybe take an aggressive take here on Katie. We'll see. We'll see if she elects to keep it.
Could be aggressive, could be defensive. That fire tornado is very, very helpful.
Oh.
Unfortunately, though, it does have its limitations.
All of you.
And I believe her too.
Yeah, that's one of the notable characteristics of the King Boom Boo. It does target the first place racer. However, it puts a trail of fire pillars directly behind them, so anybody is available to be hit by that. And it basically like 5 racers did in that one moment.
Yeah, that was a really impactful, maybe the most impactful one we've seen all throughout the cup thus far. So could shape things up.
If
There
anybody
is a
can look
monster
up
truck
a
right on
Bitdo
cue
Pro
for Coney.
2, please,
Vroom,
seriously.
vroom.
Vroom, hitting Sear yet again, but Sear, you know, kind of shrugging it off. Maybe he had something. Yeah, he had a boost wisp to kind of like make that hit not be as painful. But him getting caught by that fire tornado, taking him down to 0 rings. Oh, that's a really tough position to be in going into lap 3.
Probably the best thing for him, though, is the fact he already highlighted, like, I'm not a big rings guy
Bet on
anyway,
items,
so it
bet on
doesn't really
items, bet
matter.
on
But
items.
you're going to need those item sets to really come in the clutch right now. There's the triple boost, and you got a single one after that, so you got 4 to work with at the moment. Let's see.
It would have been really great if he was able to get that 100 ring. One of the characteristics, too, of lap 3 is that there in some tracks, there is a 100 ring spawn. So if you are lacking in the rings, you can try to get that and try to catch back up. But, you know, maybe not wanting to risk going off the side there. It is really risky to take that jump. And, oh, getting hit by that tornado there in the last section. Going to burn all the items.
The worst part about getting hit there with the tornado is the fact he did have the shield. He just didn't pop it. So that's really could have mitigated that, but unfortunate finish. The slime right there going to have Agent. Oh, no, it gets flipped at the end. So a potential top 4 finish probably going to put him in 5th or 6th. And you see the rage right there. As he slaps his chair, not satisfied with that. Oh, my goodness. 9th place, even worse than I thought.
Oh, my
But
gosh.
Chibi
Oh, my
Doki,
hey, wait.
First place, and Coney 11th.
Coney is at 11th.
That's
I was going
huge.
to say. That is, I think, a little bit of a back and forth, you know, because that last race that had double points as well, I believe Chibi was actually placing Chibidoki a little bit lower.
Yep.
And now the roles are reversed, but that's a lot more points for Chibidoki and the higher placing that she got there. So that might have really switched things up for sure at the top spots.
Yeah, that is 100%. That is a big deal, especially, again, can't stress it enough, double points for these last 4 races. We are 2 down with 2 to come. And let me tell you something, if you are a Chibidoki fan, you are eating good right now. If you're a Coney fan, you might be a little bit on edge. Like, you're kind of scrambling, finding your calculator, doing your own hand math right there, just trying to just find some hope, because right now things are getting a little sticky.
Yeah, and we're gonna see how things really shake up here in Wonder Museum. Now, this track, I think this is where we can see some of the driving ability shine in our racers, because if you know how to like kind of bob and weave through these obstacles, you can make a really meaningful lead for yourself here. And we got Chibidoki starting at the front here. Let's see what she gets. A boost wisp. Now, again, there's a really important off-road here on this final like turn, I would say. If she was to save something like that for it, she elected to use it there, but you know, she could definitely get a crazy lead.
We need
Oh
some
yeah,
money.
I mean, too, like, you gotta think too that that's like gonna be on the last lap right
okay.
there. You got some time, you might be able to get one back for sure, but you don't want to fall too far behind, letting that bomb build some speed and some power before you elect to just toss that. Maybe on a straightaway, we'll see. Oh yeah. Who is she target? Who's the target though of her ire? I would say probably the whole lobby if I had to guess. My goodness.
She almost hit herself there. That would have been kind of scary. I saw that. I saw her light flash before her eyes there. All right, you know, Coney's got 30 rings, no item, but we're going into the CrossWorld. Maybe we get the frenzy. All right, as we said, that this could switch up some stuff here for the second lap. Let's see what frenzy type that they get.
See?
Boost frenzy.
Ooh, boost. I love the boost one. Yes, sir.
Yeah,
That's
this is
fantastic. You love that if you're in those top 3 places.
Yeah, it's definitely it's a double-edged sword, because although this is really nice to, you know, be able to fire off boosts, you get to use it as like a defensive item now. If you were holding on to something for like a later lap, you lost it as soon as you went into this frenzy. It forces you to just have the boost, so it's definitely got some benefits to some other racers, but it could be a big downside if you were trying to play a more patient strategy with an item.
That's a really good point, because when you are in those
Even this
kind of
won't help me.
higher places, you are kind of thinking, okay, let me just hold the defensive item. And, you know, if you get like a boost, there's only so much that can do, right? It's not really going to protect you the same way a shield would against like a King Boom Boom or something like that. So,
Yeah,
definitely,
exactly.
as you said, double-edged sword. But we are on that final lap, which means Them dinosaurs gonna come to life. If you haven't played here before, you might be in for a treat. Let me tell you something. Rex is back to life, baby, and he is wreaking some havoc.
Yeah, you can see him bending down and trying to chomp some of the racers. Oh, things are getting real hectic right now. Coney getting hit by a slime and an item and driving into the dinosaur.
Oh, my God. Oh, and he doesn't get an item box there, too. He's in trouble. 5th place. If he can finish within that top 5, that'll still be pretty decent. Agent, smart stuff right there. Avoiding the boost. Would have definitely got clapped right there in 1st place. Let's see, can he hold on?
It looks like he's driving really well. He's taking this turns well. Oh, but he got hit by the plane.
Greedy. He didn't have to do that.
Yeah, that's a tough position to be in. Lost some rings. I mean, he didn't really have too many to begin with, so he should be kind of okay. It's not going to make that meaningful of a difference. He's still holding this 2nd place spot and collecting a little bit of the slipstream here from Caroline.
This is great. He has a boost right here going down the stretch. When's he going to pop it? Let's see. He's holding it. Very disciplined right now. Let it go. Let it go.
Let it go, man.
What the heck?
Maybe he didn't realize he was holding on to that, you know?
What was that brother looking at? What?
That's pretty good. I'll take it.
Okay.
He was behind me.
Might have been a little too leaned in, might have been focusing too much on the car rather than the items he was holding, but that's okay. I mean, he's getting a top 3 spot. You can't be too mad at that. But he definitely, all I'm saying is he could have maybe gotten that 1st place position there had he popped that boost.
Yeah, I'm a little confused. I mean, you know, all right, you know, that's why I'm not part of the agency. I don't know, you know, I'm not keyed in on them briefings, I suppose. Yeah, we'll go with that.
Yeah, I mean, just that. Got to be aware of the items you have, but I can understand why it's difficult. I mean, there's so much happening in that final lap of the race, especially at the end. You're just kind of worried about trying to make sure you're not getting hit. And for all we know, maybe he was just like, oh, I'm going to save this just in case one of those warp ring items comes down. Because you could avoid it with the boost, but I think there it would definitely be good to let it fly. That's for sure.
I think because he was so close to the end, I wouldn't be worried about anything other than just like, because if he had pulled it, I don't know if he would have beat Chibi, but he definitely would have beat Burke right there and at least guaranteed a 2nd place finish. But nonetheless, nothing wrong with a solid 3rd place. Agent has definitely been consistent and making an absolute run at what I would imagine is a potential 3rd place. We'll see. Again, double the points. So the higher you get, the more points you got to double up. So it's been fantastic. But it all wraps coming to a head here, my friend, as we have Ocean View.
Yeah, Ocean View. We got 2 big races left, and as I said, there is a shortcut on this track at the very last turn that is a big difference maker if you have an off-road item. So we're going to see if the racers take note of that on their 1st lap here, or maybe, you know, some of the more experienced racers are just going to have that in their memory bank and kind of try to play around it. But we'll see what happens. We have Seer here with his Tornado. Let's see. Oh, electing to play aggressive, hitting Chibidoki. Knocking her down a few placings maybe, and definitely taking a lot of rings.
Well, we know for a fact Chibidoki is definitely at this point, I want to say, the one to beat right there, along with Coney as well. But I don't really blame Seer. There's Coney right there, not electing to actually pull his Tornado.
It doesn't matter because I'm not going to keep it. So.
Yeah, it's a tough call because like Coney, see, he was waiting.
Yeah.
It's the mind games of whether or not you want to hold on to that Tornado, because you're definitely going to scare the racers around you. But it's nice to like have that defensive item for later in the race.
Oh, 1000%, yeah.
Oh, the 2 Eggmans pushing up against each other here.
I was gonna say, who wants it more? Real Slim
Who's the
Shady,
real
please
Eggman?
stand up. Yeah, right. Who we got? Getting slimed on right there. Chibi making her way back to the front of the pack. She's in 3rd right now with the laser on deck.
We have a good item
Holding
in
that
3rd.
for a little bit of a defensive maneuver.
Yeah. Oh, Chibi falling off, popping the laser right back to get into the fray. But I would like to point out that this is actually a really great CrossWorld for Chibi. She has a gadget that gives her more rings each time she goes over a dash pad. There was a bunch of them in that one section, so. Okay, Agent showing a little bit of fire. He wants to hit Coney.
I love the fact he's so aware too, man. Again, the competitiveness that we are seeing from our racers, second to none. Oh, he gets hit there, but you got a boost. You're fine. Iron Spike ball behind just to make sure nobody's coming at you, and it's actually going to hit Sim, if I'm not mistaken. That's tough.
Yeah, losing a lot of rings there, but Agent's actually being really efficient here, collecting a lot more. Already back to max rings. Let's see if he gets an item to combat Coney here. I can't really tell what Coney has right now. Oh, coming down as a weight. Yep.
Oh, that's going to hit the top 2 right there. So Coney should have felt that as well, unless
Coney
he had the shield.
Yeah, Coney had a tornado. Yeah.
Oh yeah, tornado. Okay, yeah, some sort of defensive item. Yeah, nobody even close in the vicinity. Coney back in the winner's circle, first place finish.
Yeah, we tuned back into Coney there a little bit late, so I don't know if he got that shortcut, but he was using Omochao. And for those who don't know, that can be used as an item to take an off-road shortcut. As long as you're collecting the rings that Omochao is dropping, it lets you drive off-road without a speed penalty. So maybe that's what it was.
I want to say this, as good as that performance was from Coney getting back into the winner's circle where he deserves to be, of course, he's just been that talented. Chibidoki was second place. And definitely we've seen throughout these double points races, it's been a little bit harder on Coney than it has been Chibi. So her consistency remains intact, which I think is going to help her a lot. Remember, guys, I'm harping on that so much because at the start of these last 4 races, there was only a 6-point difference between Coney and Chibidoki. So I can imagine there's definitely been a little bit of a shift and shake up so far, but we'll just all wait with bated breath to see who's really going to take it home.
Every race counted up until this point, and I believe we have our final race coming up of not only the tournament, but also our double points here, which again could be another big lead shifting change here. We're going to have to see how all of the points have kind of, spread out amongst the other racers, especially because there's been some racers like, Cody getting that, I believe, like 11th place finish or something like that could have allowed somebody else to maybe nip at his heels a little bit, maybe take that second place spot away from him. So we'll have to see what's up.
Yeah, Coney had a couple of rough ones. I'm looking at the kind of like the information we're privy to, and I'm seeing 11th, I'm seeing 10th. So definitely. Oh, apparently that was actually going to be the last
that was the last
one.
race.
I think Mystic Jungle subbed in for E Stadium for that.
Oh, that's
one.
right.
So,
Yep,
yeah,
that is correct.
Right there. So E Stadium enthusiasts, we got you next time. Because right now we just wrapped it up, and what a fantastic way to finish things up. Obviously in the Nerd Cave, they'll tally up all the scores and give us the proper leaderboard. But I gotta say, Emerald, this has been such a pleasure and such a treat. I really genuinely enjoy and love this game, and I'll tell you what, you definitely like the casting partner I take anytime, and this has been fantastic.
Thank you, man. It's always a pleasure to work with you, man. I love this game. I'm sure you can tell. I'm happy to nerd out on the mic about this game. That's for sure.
Oh yeah.
I put a bunch of time into it. I guarantee if you guys haven't given it a chance at home, please do. It is a phenomenal game. It has my seal of approval, genuinely, as being one of my favorite kart racers of all time. So please give it a chance at home. I promise you'll enjoy the driving once you get used to it, and you'll have a good time with your friends on the tracks. That's for sure.
Yeah, they almost kicked me out at the Game Awards. I was in that crowd shouting "Game of the Year, CrossWorlds." They was like, "Hey, sit down, son." I was like, "I got something to say. Somebody's gonna hear me." So I ride for this game. I'm a big fan for sure, and I do assure you, the next time I will be at legend status as well. I'm chilling in the A's, which I'm proud of. But I'm gonna hit that legend too. Still got something in the tank. All right.
Yes, sir.
That's all I'm saying. So good stuff all around. Now, from your vantage point, who do you think actually brought it home? Like, I know we have between Coney and Chibi. We'll figure that out momentarily. But if you had to maybe pick in that third spot, I think it's very possible that Agent might have crept up there, and he's in third right now.
Yeah, I will say from the performance of Agent throughout the entire tournament, he kind of started off a little slow, but then really picked it up as the races went forward. So we're going to have to see kind of what the final spread of the points were as we pull up the final leaderboard here. But I think that, Agent probably maybe taking that third place spot. If not, I mean, Sear was kind of close behind too. He was playing pretty well, I would say. Very consistently in the middle of the pack, but sometimes that's all you need to win, especially when double points are involved.
The thing that concerns me about Sear is those last 2 races, I think, was like an 11th and 10th finish, like somewhere towards the bottom. So that's not quite enough. You know what I'm saying? Like, unfortunately, 1 + 1 isn't 11. You know what I mean? It's 2. So, the points aren't doubled the way that would be most helpful in some of these situations. So, we'll see though. We'll see. Like, we're kind of just speculating right now, just kind of riffing a little bit, but we will have the official results momentarily for all you guys. But nonetheless, definitely a good series of races for sure. To me, the most entertaining thing was just being surprised at how good some of these guys actually were, how much they prepared for this and were ready to go. So I thought that was just absolutely awesome.
Yeah, I think the great thing about this game is that, like, regardless of the skill level, it feels like it's always a really entertaining race to watch, especially in those final moments. I think the game does a brilliant job at keeping everybody on the edge of their seat, whether you're watching or playing yourself. You can tell, like, the adrenaline is high because you can see the reactions that people are having, like whether they're, taking a deep exhale of relief from just like getting that victory in first place, or maybe a little upset because they had like all that built up tension because they thought they were going to win, and then they get hit by like a red glove or something in the final moments. And I mean, I think that's like what playing this game is about, is it's like really the adrenaline of like the up and down of playing it, because either way you're having a good time. That's for sure.
100%. Yeah, and getting to kind of key in on certain players too from the rivalry sheet that we had as well was a lot of fun. Kind of weaving and building some storylines off of that kept carrying into some other courses was a lot of fun too. And then at some point too, when we started to see a little bit of like, felt like some friendly targeting as well, because there was definitely some placements I'm like, oh, I don't think that happened by accident. You know, somebody was like, you got to slow it down for at least a race or two. So definitely a lot of integral things that went in there to make that so good. But hang tight, guys. We are tallying up those final scores right now to get that leaderboard for you. Want to double and triple check that? Oh, I'm being told right now it should be on the way right now. So hold. Congratulations to Chibi Doki.
Wow. Look at that point discrepancy there. What a phenomenal performance. And there is the champion banner. Good stuff to Chibi Doki. I mean, she did a phenomenal job in these races. And, you know, like I said, I said going in, I feel like she played really well the last time. So last time she was in one of these CrossWorlds tournaments. So I'm not surprised to see her in one of the top placings, but also taking the whole thing home. Really great stuff.
She was sensational, and the hallmark of her gameplay was, I'm just really angry and you're gonna feel it. And she definitely took out that anger on the track and used it to her benefit. So many comebacks and close calls that she was able to just kind of gut out, right? And that's what I think was the big thing for her. Her consistency was just a little bit higher than Coney's, who gets a very respectable second place. But how about Agent? We talked about Agent. He crawled up there, and he now occupying that third spot. So well done to Agent.
Yeah, proving again that he's a gamer, as he states, man. I mean, he pulled up and he showed out. He's still getting a top 3 placing is nothing to snuff at. But I do want to actually point out here too, GT Live coming up to 4th place. Definitely a sleeper of the tournament. I feel like we haven't gotten to talk too much about them in the like race to race, but it seems like they had been playing very consistently on their own, or at least, you know, getting a really good finishing section here in the final races. Not quite enough to make it to top 3, but that is still a very impressive string of points that they tallied together.
You know how I look at it? It's like it wasn't enough to quite podium on this event, but it's definitely enough to get invited back.
Yeah, for sure.
That's how I would look at it. So wonderful stuff all around. No disappointment to be found there. That was incredible stuff. Wow. You got to give it up. Now, were there any surprises for you? I will say I definitely thought Wake and Will would be top 5. I thought Wake and Will would be top 5. So see them finish a little bit lower was surprising to me. Ooh. Is Chibi here? Chibi? Girl,
welcome. Congrats.
Can we talk about how you are just insane anytime I see you on the screen? You just different for real. Straight up. Okay, I love it. Okay.
Nah, I think it's great.
Oh, okay,
Okay,
they're
one
fixing
second.
you on stream. Okay, I'm sorry you guys can't hear her because she's actually fabulous. Fabulous. Okay.
Hello.
Okay,
Awesome.
Perfect. Welcome.
Hello.
So how are you feeling after being victorious, coming out on top? How did you actually, you know what? Actually, let's go further back than that. How did you feel going into the tournament, and how are you feeling right now after it's all said and done?
I was very nervous because my little sister and I have been practicing for like the past 2 days, and I'm not very good at this game. I know I won, but I'm infamous for getting last place. So I am honestly just as shocked as anyone else. I feel like I am in a dream right now. It's crazy.
She's humble.
No.
Definitely not humble, but definitely like that understated confidence that I think a lot of people need in a race like this. Now, I kept saying, Chibi, that I thought the hallmark of your play was that you were just so darn consistent. Like, I didn't see you have back-to-back races of like a 10th to 12th finish. You were always in that top 4 to top 1 range, which I thought was fantastic. Was there any point in any time that you thought maybe, just maybe, you might not actually win this thing?
Yes, well, my strategy with that is, I've been in tournaments in the past, and I've noticed if you're consistently towards the top, you have more of a chance to end at the top rather than like first, last, first, last. So you'll see like multiple moments where like I could cut through the grass and be in first, and during the race, and like I've learned that you just want to be in third the whole time, and then hopefully get a good item and pass them. Yeah, that's all I was thinking, and I guess it worked out, thankfully.
I was going to say, taking that into, I mean, that's a really smart strategy to have, honestly. Just not being in that first position is really good to like avoid the targeting, like people wanting, because like if you're in first place, you have a huge target on your back. Like if I'm racing behind you, I'm trying to hit you with an item, you know? So definitely a smart play. Did you feel like there was any like gadgets or anything that you used that you just felt like more comfortable with? What was your build like?
Oh, anytime I got a monster truck, I was thanking every like deity out there. I kept asking for monster trucks nonstop, and I kept getting hit with them instead. So I stopped asking for them, and then I was given the monster trucks. So I learned it's like the monkey's paw. You have to just let it come naturally. You can't ask for a monster truck; you'll get hit by it. Because I think that honestly, that's the best item for me. And I only got it a couple times, but I feel like every time I did, it really helped me get to the front.
Nice. I mean, an item like that will help you rain chaos and just terrorize the lobby, which I can tell you are very happy to do. Now, I think the biggest question here, in my opinion, because you got first place, okay, you got the lion's share of the prize, 13,000. Now, does your little sister help you practice getting into that?
Oh, dude, listen, well, the last tournament I was in that I made money all went to her. All the money I make goes to my family. So all of this chunk, I'm probably going to tell my dad about it, and he's going to say, shut up, you're lying. And I'll probably take them to dinner tonight or something nice. My grandma's also here, so I'll take them to get something nice to eat, and it'll go to a house fund.
That's incredibly wholesome. That's amazing.
Thank you.
Well, Chibi, we don't want to keep you too long, but congratulations. Thank you for participating. And is it safe to say you'll be back to defend that title when we have another CrossWorlds Cup?
Dude, I love this game. I will always be down to play it. You guys did an amazing job. I would love to be here even if I get last place. It's a great game. And I will always take the opportunity to play. So thank you for having me. It was a lot of fun.
No doubt. Thank you for being here.
Yeah,
Appreciate
thank you
so much.
All right.
Bye.
Wow, she is so you wouldn't know she's such a sweetheart from those blood-curdling screams she elicits when she's actually on the racetrack. It's crazy, right? It's just crazy.
Yeah, very sweet. The money going to a really nice cause, you know, just to support her family. I think that's incredibly wholesome. And her little sister getting a piece of the pot, which, hey, she trained her up. So,
I love
you know?
That is a W sister and obviously a W racer. Guys, if you enjoyed this, we do appreciate it. Myself and Emerald, I'll tell you what, this was one of the more fun experiences that I got to do on the mic in quite a long time. So big shouts to Sega for having us. Of course, Sonic the Hedgehog. And if you haven't tried out Sonic Racing CrossWorlds yet, what the heck are you waiting for? It's right there. Take advantage of it, and maybe we'll see you on the course in the next one. But for myself, Emerald, and all of our production, all of our wonderful racers, and everybody who made this happen, have a blessed holiday, and we'll catch you next time. Peace.
See you around.